Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. Had to do my introduction again since the audio guy, you guys know, is a low budget podcast. So the audio guy, it's just this sound guy is man. Oh man, happy Friday, everybody! Welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I had such a good introduction, missed it, all wasted because of this. The sound guy was over there trying to get some coffee. Horrible, horrible. Hey, listen, we have a good one today. We're going to go ahead and go through a bunch of updates and news and many different random topics, but you know how we do here. We will go ahead and continue to speak the truth on what the current events are, and immigration is always the topic. Uh, Corrupted politicians, always the topic. Uh, Man, I want to hear some good news. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear some good news. I want to hear Democrats are going to jail, rhinos are going to jail. That's what I want to hear. All these people getting away with murder, so to speak. It's driving me crazy. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, my friends. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Welcome. Good morning, Robert. How are you? Good to see you on here. Already judging, trying to fire my sound guy. Only I can say that. Stop talking bad about my crew. My man. Good morning, brother. I hope you're doing great. If you are on your way to work, or if you are at work, don't forget to put those earpods on and listen to all the shit that we talk here in the Dennis Herrera Show. Good to see you, Magic Man. Good morning. Good morning. Man, I tell you what, Robert, this heat, bro. This heat has been, I think it's giving me some sort of rash on my neck or something, man. It's been hot and just be like the sweaty and then, oh man. It's been punishment. It's just crazy for me to say because I am a tropical weather guy. And that is how I like it. I like it nice and warm, but sometimes it's just not the thing to have. With that being said, my friends, salute. Salute, my friends. Stay thirsty. Good to see you on here. The Zinc Roofers is hopping in early before his Johnny Walker kicks in. Welcome back, Zinc Roofer. Oh, man. This guy, bro, this is loyalty is what we ask for. Just loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how many of you guys heard of a this is listen, you're not going to believe the first video that I'm going to show you, okay? Maybe you already seen the things that I show you here. Let me fix my monitor real quick. Maybe you have seen the things that I'm going to show you, but Milwaukee woman shot a boy. Milwaukee woman shoots a boy due to a water bottle dispute. Turf. Man, I'll let you guys watch it. Rush Babe, how are you, sis? Big sis. So good to see you. I can't wait to give you a hug. You know that? Don Mitch and the people that have met me in person, they know I'm a hugging guy. So I just warn you right now, I am going to give you such a big hug and your little girls. And, of course, your man. Yes, I remember his name, but we'll keep those things private, anonymous, as long as you want. But give your man my a big hug for me, and tell him just thank you for um, well being with you and taking care of the babies. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of the princesses. It's a good thing. It's crazy. I get in trouble. I talk too much. I apologize about that, but I really mean it. It's just like that is one of the bad things about being a person that is very not emotional, but what do you call that when you're um, you're very open. I don't know. I express love and gratitude, like that, with hugs and words and actions, obviously. But You see what I'm saying? Too much talking. Too much talking. This is why the Dennis Herrera show is still going on for almost a year now. Just can't shut up. Just can't do it. And I'm very glad. I'm very glad that I can't, because there is a lot of things that need to be said, and somebody has to say them. See us in the house. Cease. Cease. See, bro, you got to change that name. You got to change that name. You got to give me something to work with. You know what I'm saying? It's just season is just not working for me. Just not working for me. What's up, Patriots? Says season 5. Ah, man. See, this is why it's easier to just use your whole fucking name. Stop trying to make some anonymous different nicknames that you don't want people to know what your name is. My name is Dennis Herrera, doggone it, and I am going to say it no matter what. Mr. Plump, Fat Donald here, says my hat looks ridiculous. This guy, bro. Why you got to come in and hate on my hat? Like, what did my hat do to you? Is it just like an automatic response? Like, once you know I support Trump, it's just hate. What's going on? Guys, you gotta forgive yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Listen, forgive Trump so that you can be forgiven yourself. The moment that you give up this hate or this idea that Trump is the root of all your problems, the sooner you will see the truth. Okay, I'm just telling you, you're wasting your life being hateful like that. You know when I go crazy and I start cursing people out and I say all these things, people confuse it with like, oh my God, what a hateful guy, trying to divide the country. What you don't understand is that's tough love. Tough love. I don't understand even when vets come in here and they complain about the way that I talk, and I'm like, bro, it's like, you never been through boot camp? I mean, I never served in the military, but shit, I know about boot camp. Plenty of documentaries, plenty of veterans, plenty of soldiers have told me about it. So for me to see that a soldier or a veteran is complaining about a language, I don't know, man. It tells me all I need to know about you being a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. If the shoe fits, wear it. As a matter of fact, since I mentioned that, I'm going to start off with that video. Let me find this here real quick. Nope, not that one. Where are you? No, not that one. Man, I got so many clips for you guys. So many. Oh, my goodness. Don't tell me I got rid of it. Don't tell me but I got rid of it. Oh, okay. Here we go. So since I started talking about, this is crazy. Maybe I misunderstood, but as far as I know, I think this is the one. This might be the one. Okay, listen. So you guys hear me talking about Wingman. How are you? Good morning. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you. Scott Norris in the house. Good morning, sir. Good morning. So listen, you guys know, and some vets they get a little touchy feely. They are like how would I say this in a very nice, polite way? They're pussies. They just can't take the heat. That's just the way it is. I apologize. I know PTSD is real. I know some of you with PTSD, and I know you work through it. I know your struggles. I know your nightmares and your pains. It can be good. It can be good. Believe me, I have my own set of bad things. But listen, that doesn't mean that I am being disrespectful to you. Saying the truth is not being disrespectful. And I believe, I don't know, you guys remember the guy that just threw that firebomb over there. What was it, in New York, New Jersey, whatever, Minneapolis, whatever this place was. I forget what it was. Let me see, where is it? We'll find out in here. The clip will tell us. But, he's a veteran. You wouldn't think of it, but he is. And, the facts that they're out here being terrorists now, it's crazy. But you know what? Why don't we go ahead and set out this clip, and then you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, listen again. My love for all the vets, for all the people that serve, but doggone it, you got to take responsibility for your actions. And if you're acting like a jackass, you should be called on it. I'm pretty sure your staff sergeant and all the people that that recruited you and trained you and did all this is probably disappointed in you by acting a certain way. But again, mental problems is a real thing. And if I am aware that a veteran has mental problems, I'm more prone to be lenient, to understand. But at the same time, if they're acting violent, you got to take them out violently. There is no soft spot. There is no, somebody swinging a machete at you and you're just going to go give them a hug and say, hey, everything is going to be okay, buddy. It just doesn't work that way. So anyways, with that being said, let me say hello to a couple new people that just got in. ATM, good morning, sir. Good to see you on here. And Mr. MAGA 2026, I'm assuming it's a Mr. I'm not sure. You can put Mrs. Hopefully it's a Mr. or a Mrs. If you put me they, them, you're getting kicked out right now. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't care about that. Guys, be a little bit lenient with people's comments today. Just listen. If they start just insulting, give them a 5-minute timeout. If they keep insulting, give them a 30 minutes. Just get rid of them. If somebody disagrees with my comment, it's okay. Give them their freedom of speech, but just let them know. Be respectful, okay? Try to give them a warning. You mods are fantastic. I just ask you to give people a warning for disclaimers. Because they think that I block them because they give me facts and they prove me wrong, and that's why I block. No, that's not why I blocked them. I blocked them because they're assholes. And so I want you guys to give them the benefit of doubt for a little bit, and then get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a good Friday. Here we go. First clip of the day.
News 12 uncovering disturbing new details about the man arrested for setting fire to a federal building in Manhattan. We're learning the Army veteran was actually arrested in Brooklyn last year and charged with a hate crime. News 12's Kelly Kennedy tracked down video of that arrest. She joins us now from Grand Army Plaza. Kelly, bring us the disturbing details.
Yeah, Marissa, a source close to the investigation tells me that it all went down right here at Grand Army Plaza. Now, this was last summer, so about a year ago. I'm told there was a protest out here. A car got kind of stuck and caught up in some of the chaos of that protest. That's when Andrew Arabaca, that federal suspect, went right up to that car and randomly slashed its tires. Take a look at the video.
Where did you slash the tires?
It's pretty far from here. We walked the plaza by Prospect Park.
New video obtained by News 12 shows Arabaca, the same man suspected of the calculated firebomb attack at a federal building in Manhattan, getting arrested in Brooklyn last summer.
His car is stuck over there.
The video picks up after the crime was committed, but you can see a van with 2 flat tires. Then the victim gets out to confront Arabaca, who is wearing a green hat and holding up a vulgar sign, which we've blurred. The 43-year-old later arrested about a half a mile away. The video appears to show officers holding a knife they recovered, along with an ID identifying the man as Andrew Arabaca.
I want to press charges on you.
A source tells News 12 Arabaca was charged with criminal mischief and a hate crime, but the hate crime charges were eventually dropped. I'm told Arabaca was court-ordered to attend anger management classes, do community service, and pay restitution to the victim. He then received a disorderly conduct violation. We reached out to the Brooklyn DA's office, but were told they couldn't comment because the case is sealed. On Monday, Arabaca was arrested again, after federal prosecutors say he fired a BB gun towards Federal Plaza, poured a flammable liquid outside the building, set it on fire, and threw fireworks into the flames. Investigators say Arabaca deliberately chose the entrance because it was busy and he knew people could be hurt.
Oh my God!
Investigators telling us the attack was motivated by anti-government and anti-ICE beliefs. Authorities recovered a wagon filled with weapons, including a BB gun, a machete, hatchets, and a sign reading "Ice off our streets." Now, one person was hit in the head from flying debris. Now, Arabaka is facing a federal charge that carries a sentence of up to 40 years in prison if he's convicted. For now,
and he should stay in jail. 40 years is good enough. This is like, it's one of those things, right, that's really hard to tackle because, we say we care about veterans, and we want to fix these homeless, and drug abuse on the streets and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you, man, we can sit here and judge the leaders and we can trash them and we can go off on them. But in reality, man, it's not that easy. You're always going to have to deal with pushback from other people that don't think or agree with the things that you want to do or you think are right. Like for example, right? If I was running for governor here in Washington State, one of the things that I would do, we will try to create a couple of asylums. I think the major cities will definitely need to have an asylum, or somewhere close by there where we can actually drive people. Who knows? Maybe we can get a very secluded area to do the building. We will need to acquire permits. We need to acquire all that stuff. Yes, as governor, we can do a lot of things, but you still have to go through, the steps and procedures. I mean, the people should be able to vote for something like that. It's we can make a proposition and allow the people to vote for it. I have my ways of thinking about doing things. Some things I think I can do executive orders on. Some things I think I can do like a half executive order. And that just means that, it's not something that I can just permanently put in there. I can put something temporary so that it runs through a vote. Well, I don't want to confuse it with too much stuff that the governor has power to do. But what I'm saying is, like, I can say we're going to go ahead and build asylums, right, to help people with mental issues. And then you're going to have these radical people that are going to go crazy on you, saying, oh, you just put whoever you don't like in the mental institute, and they're not even crazy, You're always going to have pushback. If you, like this thing with Mayor Wilson, right? This crazy socialist Democrat. Her idea is not bad. It's just she doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't know. She's never had a real job in her life. She has been taken care of by her rich parents. And that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You and I have probably gone through hell and back, with work, poverty, maybe middle class, maybe we were rich at some point. We made a lot of money, we have no money, etc. We have experience in life, and that makes a difference. But, like, for example, this small houses that she built, I think is a stupid-ass idea. But nonetheless, okay, she got it done. What is the problem with it? There's no regulation. It allows for people to continue to do prostitution, to continue to do drugs. There is no checks and balances. You know what I'm saying? And that's not something that's going to help society. So, we can judge and say everything that we want because we're not in their shoes. But if we were in their shoes, what the hell are we going to do? Do we really have a solution to the problem? And I think those are the things that I think about. Don't get me wrong. It's like, I want to run for governor. If somebody's better than me, by all means, but you better beat me. You better beat me. If you are not better than me, I am going to trash you. It's just we need to have somebody that is competitive, somebody that's actually looking for the people. And, it's what it is, So I think asylums are a good thing, but we also need to be open to audits. We need to make sure that third-party institutions come in and check, do check and balances, in the place. Cameras at all time, 24/7 surveillance, making sure that the staff is well trained and that they are not abusing the patients. There's going to be a lot of accountability. I think that asylums will work if you really have people that pass a good background check, test their morality standards. Are you God-fearing? Are you a loving person? Are you have a record of taking care of people? Do you actually do things to help? Humanitarian stuff. Man, there are so many things that we can go into, right? All I can tell you is, but with check and balances, transparency, and good policy that benefits everybody, not just a specific group, I think that a government can run very well. And, collecting taxes. I think a lot of people are going to want to give more taxes or donations. This is what we do, right? If we charge taxes to the people, we better be delivering some very good government. You know what I'm saying? And if we need to get programs, finance or whatever, then we allow people to do donations. Donations are normally, tax deductible. Donations are normally non-tax, tax free. And it can be used for programs that will benefit. Doesn't have to be government owned. I don't believe the government should own institutions. I don't believe that the government should own everything. I think that there should be privatized companies out there. And if they're not behaving, then fuck them. We will get on their ass and we'll make sure that they are actually being fair with everything that we talk about or want to do for the people. Well, with that being said, mental problems are huge. Part of the criminal problems that we have right now is, they have mental issues, but you allow them to be on the street and you have this multiple conviction felons on the street. And I'm not talking about somebody was a felon because, they lied about the pricing of their house. That's not the felony that I'm talking about. I'm talking about felonies like somebody stabbing somebody, shooting somebody, raping somebody. You know what I'm saying? Killing somebody. Those are the felonies that I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about no fucking real estate felony charges that were actually dropped. We know who I'm talking about. When somebody's fully acquitted, that's it. It's a new start, and just leave it there. We have to trust the justice system. It is what we got, and I don't like it. Sometimes I don't like it, but it is what we have, and we have to make sure that we are all on the same page on that. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. This is one of what a crazy story. Listen to this. And again, this could be part of the mental problems that we're talking about, right? Right now we have so many mental issues, and it's not a party issue. It is a mental problem. Unfortunately, why does it seem that most of the mental people, if not all of the mental people, choose to be Democrats? Why is it that all illegal immigrants want to support Democrats? Well, we know why, but why is it that all the criminals, all the bad people, they choose to support Democrats? Why is it that everybody that hates America choose to be Democrat? Why is it that everybody that supports our enemies, they choose to be Democrats? Do you see something's going on? You know what I'm saying? Something is going on in our country, and we got to be able to question it. We got to be able to accept things, but we also have to be able to question things. That's why when somebody calls me, right, or you guys have seen this, that there's people that call me, disagree with me. Well, why do you disagree with me? Well, you know what, I can see that point, but I still disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see people questioning things, but it just seems like everybody that is against America goes to the left. Why is that? I'm just saying. Why is it that hardworking Americans want to be conservatives? Why is it that people that work hard for their money, why is it that they are capitalists? Why is it that they are Republicans? Why is it that the lazy people that want to be taken care of by welfare want to be Democrats? See, we believe on our side. We believe that there's disabled people, there's veterans, there's people with PTSD that need some help. They're independent, they want to be peaceful, they want to have all these things. And we agree that these social programs should exist for the people that actually need those social programs. But they're not there to make people lazy and violent and criminals and be drug addicts. That's not what the welfare system was created for. It was supposed to be there for a means of you to get out of a hole, to be able to take care of the people that have served us, or for our citizens who aren't really aren't able to take care of themselves. Social programs, it's a good thing, but it has to be managed. Again, it's the same thing that I said with asylums. If I create asylums here as a governor of Washington State, if I create asylums, I got to make sure that there is audits, that there is surveillance, that there is balances, check and balances. It's got to be in there. It's got to be in there. Accountability is huge. Transparency is huge. So in the same way, the welfare system has got to do audits. They got to use they have to hold people accountable for what they do. If they're committing fraud, send their ass to jail. Make it public. None of this, hide in their face. No, make it public. Put their name out there. Put their face out there. Let them be shamed of what they've done wrong. That's how it works. That's how it works. So watch this. Let's watch this next clip, and then you'll see where the problem starts in America. Okay, and I believe parents is where it starts. Some parents that are parents today, well, their parents fucked up somewhere along the line, and this is what we got. So check this out. What? Destroy his home country? What the fuck? Furious, you don't even know me. Shut the hell up. These people need to learn some respect. Raj, babe. Steve, why are Nazis being voted in primary for governor in Maine, and why are Democrats paying the KKK and racist groups? Oh, sis, you're such a sweetheart. I love you, girl. I love you, girl. I love you because you're a true American woman. Love it. I love it. They will never be able to understand that question. You probably just confused all the libtards that joined our channel. For everybody else, listen, let me give you some advice right now. If you are a libtard, stay quiet. Nobody knows who you are. If you start throwing nonsense on the chat, then you're saying you're a libtard. You're owning that, like Morris. Like Morris. Morris is a libtard. Just look at the comments, and you will know the libtards. By their fruits you shall know them. Anyways, let's get to the clip. This is the second clip of the day. If you missed the first one, you are late to the party. But you can always rewind the live, I think.
Of criminal convictions that go back years.
33-year-old Casetta Burrell was just released from prison, is prohibited from having a gun, and waiting to go to trial for another felony case. When prosecutors say, Bill Miston explains now, she shot a 12-year-old boy over turf selling water bottles.
There's so much stuff going on in this complaint.
33-year-old Casetta Burrell's charged with 22 counts relating to leading police on a high-speed chase with kids in her vehicle after prosecutors say Burrell shot a 12-year-old boy last Friday evening near 60th and Silver Spring.
Here you have what started as a dispute between two groups of children for water bottle selling turf.
Prosecutors say Burrell, her girlfriend, and other children, including Burrell's, drove around the neighborhood looking for the victim. Prosecutors say Burrell shot the boy, shot at his brother, and hit a nearby house with people inside. Prosecutors say flock cameras spotted the suspect vehicle, and when deputies tried to pull it over, Burrell started a nearly 6-mile pursuit at speeds upwards of 80 miles per hour, with 4 kids in the vehicle, including her son.
Ms. Burrell had been out of prison for 11 days for her child abuse conviction, where the underlying victim is one of the victims in this case.
She understands the severity of her charges and has mentioned that she will attend any and all court appearances for this case. And she just mentioned to me that on that 17th where she missed her court appearance, she mentioned that she was in custody.
Burrell was set to go to trial this week in a felony case. Court records say she was in custody on the day of the shooting. It's unclear whose custody she was in and why she was released. But hours later, prosecutors say she shot the boy and later admitted to it on recorded jail calls, calling herself, quote, a hero.
Nobody in the community, nobody in the hood thinks somebody that shoots a 12-year-old kid is a hero. You are not a hero. If you did this, you're a zero.
Burrell's being held.
You are a zero. You know what I find interesting. I don't read all the comments, but I do read some of them. I do read some of the comments, and I try to give people the benefit of doubt. That don't like me or whatever. I know it's because I support Trump that they don't like me, but when they accuse me of being a traitor, I had a little nice, beautiful. Paul Salsi, I didn't hit send. My bad. I was saying hello to you there. I made this PowerPoint sign because I thought that it would illustrate for you guys a little bit better of what these Democrat corrupted politicians are doing. Now, ignorant tequila-soaked brain Herrera. Hey, guys, let me tell you what. I want to be white. It's true. It's true. I want to be white. And I would like to take this moment. Now, I did this yesterday. You guys missed it. It's okay. Don't worry. Let me tell you why I want to be white. If you don't want to be white, hey, listen, it's all on you. It's up to you. It's like salvation. You have to choose salvation. You can't just, you got to choose it. Now, let me tell you why I want to be white. Ah, man. This is with love to all my libtards that hate the Dennis Herrera show. This is why you should be white. Check this out. The museum, the Smithsonian Museum, tells me that I should be white. Let's get into it. Here we go. Bam! You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Talking about race. Aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture in the United States of America. Now, what I find very interesting is that the libtards they just never seem to leer, and because they're missing this thing called common sense. Now, if you can't read that, don't worry about it. I'm going to read the slides. I got six slides for you, okay? 6 slides, not slices. 6 slides for you, okay? Here we go. The white dominant culture, or whiteness, refers to the ways white people and their traditions, attitudes, and ways of life have been normalized over time and are now considered standard practices in the United States of America. Man, it feels good to be white. And since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, we all internalize some aspects of white culture, including people of color. You ready? Oh, man. I know, I heard about it. But pay attention. If you didn't pay attention in school, pay attention in the Dennis Herrera show. Let's take a look of why Dennis Herrera wants to be white. And if you're not white, you're missing out. Brian, what's up? Here we go. Slide number 2. Slide number 2. Oh, man, I'm in the wrong slide. Hold on. My bad. Here, slide number 2. Here we go. Rugged individualism. Yes, it is the opposite of communism. The individual is the primary unit, self-reliant. Independence and autonomy highly valued. Plus is rewarded. Individuals assume to be in control of their environment. You get what you deserve. The nuclear family consists of a father, a mother, and they want to have at least an average of 2.3 children. That's the ideal social unit. Husbands is the breadwinner and the head of household. Wife is a homemaker and subordinate to the husband. Children should have their own rooms and be independent. Wow, yeah, white people are so evil, aren't they? Man, their objective, they're rational, linear thinking. They cause and effect relationships, quantitative emphasis. Man, white people are crazy. They are based on Northern European immigrants' experience in the United States. Now, what I find very interesting is that, they think that these Northern European, things were bad. I am sure that taking your brothers or your kids' hearts out to sacrifice to the God of the sun, I'm sure that was very good. I'm sure you want to keep those traditions. I'm sure that witchcraft is something that you want to continue to practice. I'm sure you want to continue to sacrifice your own Indian people to false gods for stupid traditions. I am sure that is the way that you want to live. Well, I choose the European experience. Let me just say that. The primacy of Western and Judeo-Christian tradition. This is what we have. This is why this country, it's so great. I hope you understand and I hope you learn something. This is why it's good to be white. But don't forget, guys, go and get your white privilege card. Bam! That way when somebody says that you are not a citizen, you can defend yourself, because even white people who are in this country could be illegal immigrants. Don't think that your color of the skin is going to make you look innocent. You will be questioned citizenship. If you're a white guy and you're trying to vote, I'm going to ask you, where's your proof of citizenship? Your word doesn't mean shit to me. I want proof. Man, I think I am white, guys. This coconut just turned white. Too much common sense to not be white. Our religion is Christianity, not Islam. Christianity. 250 years of success with Christianity. Why should we change our religion? Anything other than Judeo-Christian tradition is foreign, and we don't want it. We don't want it. You got the freedom of religion. Practice that shit in your home. That doesn't mean that you get to go and interrupt my street on the way to work or fun. You go and pray in your house. Keep your religious, spiritual shit at home. How's that? If you do have a concert in public, you got to get a permit. If you want to be able to block the streets, you got to have a permit. If you don't have a permit, you can be arrested. And number two, it makes you look like a fucking dumbass. Here we go. The wealth equals worth. Your job is who you are. We respect authority. That's what it means to be white. I'm white. I'm white. Heavy value on ownership of goods, space, and property. Man, I am white. Plan for the future. What? Liptards don't know what that is. Delay gratification. You guys don't even know what that is either. But you know what? We like to invest. And whether we successful or not, there's a chance that we take. That is part of who we are. Progress is always best. And tomorrow will always be better. Now, this is what they teach you. Well, they took this down already. But this is what they taught you at the Smithsonian Museum, right? Besides all the transgender bullshit that the children have to watch as they walk through the museum, that's for another story. Right now, I'm just letting you know that I am white. They follow rigid time schedules. What? Man. Time viewed is a commodity. Liptards don't know what that is. They like to sleep all day. They don't want to do anything. They like to live under the bridge instead of owning their house. Unbelievable. I want to be white. We're based on European culture. You're lucky. You're lucky we have European culture. Now, the difference is that we tweak it and we made it better. That's the difference. Steak and potatoes, baby. Blend is best. Woman's beauty on a blonde, thin, Barbie-like body. Well, she could be brunette. The body's got to be there. You know what I'm saying? There's some brothers out there, they like the big round balls. And by balls, I don't mean like men testicles. I mean like big fat women. I mean, that's what they want. That's what they want. To each his own. I don't mind a little bit of meat on my wife. I love that. Men's attractiveness is based on economic status, power, and intellect, which, bears the question. Why do women want to be with ghetto people? What is so attractive about being a lowlife, drug addict, and disrespectful criminal? Just people, I don't know, man. These are all Democrats. All of these people choose to be on the left for some reason. Our holidays are based on Christian religions. Don't hate. Don't hate. We protect property and entitlements. Means that we protect and respect your property. What you work so hard to get, we respect. And we wish you to get more. Intent counts. Wow. We are very competitive. White people. This is whiteness. You got to be number one. So apparently, you got to be a loser if you want to be black, brown, or a minority. If you tend to be successful, they will hate you and call you a white supremacist. Man, these retards are really retarded. I'm telling you something, man. They're really missing some common sense, bro. Oh boy. This is why they don't see what's going on around the world. Why we are doing what we have to do. This is why they don't understand Venezuela. This is why they don't understand Cuba. This is why they don't understand Iran. They don't understand why deals are being made with people that are enemies. They don't understand anything about what's going on in the world because they choose to do the opposite of what makes sense. All right? Hey, don't get mad for telling you the truth. Rollins, you are a true liptard. Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to tell you something. All these Europeans that came here to the Americas, oh, man, I'm going to tell you right now, bro. There's some hot Argentinas. Some hot women in Cuba. And Venezuela has had the most beautiful women in the world. Man, if it wasn't for the Europeans coming over here to get mixed with us, man, it's what a life is. It's a world-changing event. Women are more attractive. You know what I'm saying? Women are more beautiful. And such a change, in the Americas. We got these people here that they are mixed with German, tall, white, blue eyes, mixed with the natives in Argentina, and they create this big booty Latinas. You know what I'm talking about. Beautiful women. Beautiful. Beautiful. We got the women in Guadalajara, Mexico. Beautiful. Gorgeous women. Blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, nice set of blicks and oh my goodness. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm telling you, man, I am grateful for the European mix in this country. Now, let me get here. We have a lot of beautiful natives. But we can't hate. Europeans, man, I can tell you right now, I've seen a lot of women from Holland. Oh. Poland. Oh. Switzerland. Oh. I'm just saying, I am very happy. I am very happy that Europeans migrated and settled in the Americas. I'm telling you that right now. I love it. Let's see, what does Jesus say about foreigners being in his land? I don't know what you mean by his land, but, times change in history. Here, let me give you a little now, I know we only got 150 people here, but let me give you something about the Bible that you don't understand. Now, you probably have never heard this before, so I want you to pay attention. If you really want to understand why things have changed today, especially when you quoting me Jesus or the Bible, here it goes. When Samuel, In Samuel's time in the Old Testament, when Samuel was a prophet, everybody lived under God's laws, God's commandments. The commandments are still the base for all of us. But the people said, we want a king. Oh, no. Pay attention, libtard. This is why you guys stay retarded and never leer. Listen, and then open your mouth. Shut the hell up and listen. Hearing is not listening. Let me just tell you that right now. Well, let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of deportations from heaven. I'll tell you that right now. The people ask for a king. Samuel came back to God and said, God, the people want a king. Well, go back and tell the people, if they really want a king, let them know the consequences of having that. Now, king equals government. You will have to do their will. You will have to do what they tell you. You will have to pay taxes, honor, homage to them. They will oppress you. And you will like it. Go tell him that. He goes back, and the people say, yeah, we still want a king. And God said, okay, we'll give you a king. Remember what I said. All of this, we are free everywhere, no more. Government was created. And with that in history, it tells us that people were conquering lands in all parts of the world. Now we are, as Christians, have to abide by the law of the land, meaning that we have to respect the government in which we give ourselves to. If you want to claim the Constitution, that every American, every person that is born here in America is an American citizen, well, they have to respect the same standards, the same law. They have to abide by it. But the fact that these children of illegal immigrants choose to call themselves by their parents' nationality, you probably don't even know what the hell I just said because you don't listen. No, you don't listen. It's not, these fucking people are so retarded. Listen, just because you pay taxes, let me tell, man. Just because you pay taxes and you tell the police officer, I pay your salary. No, you don't. You pay cents. You don't pay shit for the police. You don't pay anything for FBI. You pay cents. And most of you get that shit back in double in return. So you don't pay for their salary. Now shut the hell up. If a police officer pulls me over, I'm not going to say, hey, I pay your salary. No, I'll be a fucking moron if I say that. Because what they do is serve the people. Not you, not me, the people. Meaning we have laws. We have law and order. See, you have a freedom of speech. And when you go out there and disrespect police officers and cuss at them and fight them, you're abusing your rights and you should be punished. So no, they don't work for you. They work for the people. And that is a big difference. ICE agents are federal agents. They have jurisdiction everywhere in the United States of America. It is constitutional. State constitutions approve that mandate. All these retarded people thinking that you can go and cuss at the president because he is a servant of the people. Yeah, he's a servant of the people, but he's not your bitch. I am nobody's bitch. Keep your 10 cents that you pay in taxes. Fuck you. I pay taxes. I pay your salary. Shut up. You don't even pay shit. Nothing. Nothing. There's no such thing as a Jewish Bible. Zink Roofer, fuck, did you start drinking Johnny Walker already? Fuck. These people just can't wait to get drunk. Chris, you are a fucking moron. How old are you, buddy? Are you a young teenager? Are you a kid? Are you an adult yet? You got to be some sort of kid. There's no way an adult is that stupid. There's no way an adult is that stupid. You guys see that? I think he missed everything I just said. The argument that people make that the police work for them, it is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The people, I want you to understand this. Yes, we are the people. But let me tell you, let me see if I can give you even a better example. All right, as a father, I am responsible for my kids. You agree with that? Let me know. Do you agree with that? As a father, I am responsible for my kids. Yes? Okay. As a father, I have experience in life. I know what it's like to live in this world. I have been a child. I have been an adolescent. I've been a teenager. And I became an adult. So I have experience. I am my children's father, which means what? You think my children are going to tell me what to do? You think my son is going to be able to tell me, you're my father. You take care of me. You're responsible for me. And then you're talking shit about your sister. Whose father am I? Both of you. Guess what, bitch? If you're a criminal, the police will put your ass in jail. If you're law-abiding, you will cooperate with the police. And that, my friends, is what they're there for. To serve us, to make sure that we maintain order. It's just really, we think very differently. We think very, see, Chris, you got to be a kid. You got to be a kid. If you don't understand that, you got to be a kid. How else can I explain this? Listen, okay, here, we vote for people to be in government. Now, the responsibility of every servant in government is not just for the people they like. It's for everybody, for all of us, for we the people in general. So if I am committing a crime, even though they work for the people, I'm still going to get arrested. That's what that means. It doesn't mean they get to do what you say because they work for the people. That's not how it works. Common sense, use it. Use it. Come on, think about it. Think about it. When you start using common sense, you will become a better person. Listen, they all work for us. But aren't you glad that somebody's trying to shoot you and they don't take their side because they're working for them? Who are they working for? See, there's a thing that I believe in, and it's called self-accountability. If you're a jackass, they no longer represent your ass. If you're a criminal, they no longer represent you. If you break the law, they no longer serve you. It's good to have common sense. Let's get back to being white and the greatness of being white. We always want to be number one. We got to win at all costs. Very competitive. We have a winner and a loser dichotomy. We are action-oriented, not lazy, not just procrastinate for years and do nothing. We are masters of our own destiny, and we like to be in control of our life. As I always say, I am nobody's bitch. No, the police do not represent the criminal's rights. They can enforce those rights. That's it. They don't get special treatment. That's the problem with the leftists. You guys are retarded. This is why crime is so much more rampant on areas that they go unchecked. Don't worry, I got plenty of clips. We'll go through all that. We must always do something about a situation. Libtards can see a woman, an older woman, getting beat up on the street, and they'll just grab their phone and start recording. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shut the hell up, bunch of pussies. Do something. Do something. We are aggressive and extroversion. I am very white according to everything that I'm reading to you. And if you don't like that, you are very black. That was borderline racist right there. We are decision makers. The majority rules. It's good to be white. The King's English. I try. Not perfect, but I try. I try to speak English. I think most Americans understand. I haven't heard one person in the United States to where I had an interaction with that has ever told me, I don't understand what you're saying. Are you speaking English? Not one person. Isn't that interesting? The people that come in here and insult my accent. The fuck out of here. Be polite makes you white. Can you believe that? Not discussing your personal life makes you white. Hiding emotions makes you white. Avoiding conflict makes you white. This is what the libtards are teaching the next generation of retards. And I hope that they don't listen. I hope that I hope they come through the Dennis Herrera show and get to listen to this one podcast. Oh man, fantastic! You know, there is a Mexican guy. Let me log into my Facebook account. Hold on. There was a Mexican guy. I like these guys. They're American. They're American. I'm sorry. I apologize. They're Americans, but they're Mexican descent. You know. Mexican is the nationality, I understand, but most people don't fucking know what that is. Okay, so we just call them Mexican to avoid issues. Okay, here we go. So, first let me get to my Facebook. I saved a couple of clips on my Facebook last night as I was doing some research, and I came across some videos that are just freaking A, man. It is crazy. Bikes. I don't see any more bikes. I am not a robot. These people. Oh, man. Oh, here's some scoop. I heard AI has gone rogue. AI has gone rogue. And actually, oh, boy. Yeah, I want to show you this. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, I got some good clips on my Facebook account. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, I definitely have to show you all this stuff. Okay. So anyways, now we got my Facebook account is good to go. We're going to start with I show you Pete Hegseth yesterday. I show you a fugitive, former Mexican, Leo, wanted for kidnapping and extortion, apprehended in San Diego sector. As you look at this man, oh, he looks so innocent. He is just here to work, support his family. What a very nice illegal immigrant. Please. Here we go. How about some Muslim nationalist? Would you rather be a Muslim nationalist, a brown Muslim nationalist, or a white Christian nationalist? Pick your poison. I'd rather be a coconut national Christian. Any day, buddy. Any day. Jason Martin, how are you, my friend? I see you sneaking through here. Jason Martin is on fire. That's what that means. That's what that means. Don't be naive. Be honest. But that statement shows you never served in the military. Well, brother, we just show a veteran torching, committing some terrorist actions. So not all veterans are good. And I have made that point before. Here we go. So, you either going to be a nationalist Christian or a Christian nationalist or a Muslim nationalist. You pick your poison. Listen, not everybody's retarded like the leftists, okay? When they come to our side, they get stuck. They don't know what the hell they can do with us. Oh, boy. I'll tell you what. We're going to go ahead and we will explore my Facebook account here. Now, this Facebook account, let me see. Where do I put you so that I can see this better? I'm going to put you right here. I don't want, I want to keep people's privacy on there. If you are my friend on Facebook, then you already have this information. But if you're not, I want to make sure I keep it private. All right, here we go. First clip is going to be this innocent illegal immigrant being arrested. Now, let me see if, does it have sound? Here, okay, so I'm going to have to play it. I'm going to have to remove it back. I'm going to have to go back and forth with this. I want to make sure that that I keep the privacy on. Okay. All right, here we go. You guys, if you guys were here with me yesterday, you probably already seen it, okay? Here's some advice. If you want me to answer your questions, because I can't read every comment, don't be cheap. Put a super chat question on there, and then I can answer that question, okay? Stop demanding shit when you haven't done shit for me. With that being said, here we go. Look at that. Just a working man. Just an innocent, almost senior citizen. Man, why is ICE arresting these people? Crazy, ain't it? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here's another one. This guy was arrested. Another Mexican older man arrested. And not because he was Mexican. Let me see where the post is. Notorious fugitive arrested in connection with a $547 million in Medicare fraud scheme. Now, you've been watching the Dennis Herrera show long enough. How many times have I told you illegal immigrants are taking advantage of our welfare system? They're taking advantage of our medical, healthcare system. They called me a liar. We know how that goes. They call us all liars because we tell the truth. It's really crazy how that works. It's really crazy how that works. And you know what? This gives me hope that justice will prevail. Yeah, that's right. Call me a coconut all you want. I'm so happy that somebody thinks I'm a white guy. Yeah. I'd rather be white. Let me be honest. I'd rather be white. According to the description of what they think a whiteness is, I'd rather have whiteness than ghetto-ness. Whiteness doesn't have criminals. Whiteness has common sense. Whiteness allows me to work hard and be rewarded for it. Whiteness, we are competitive. Whiteness, we build, not destroy. Whiteness, we respect the law and we want order. Whiteness, we appreciate authority. We appreciate our police. We appreciate our ICE agents, our federal agents, our government, our president. We love them. That is what it means to be white. Can you believe this? And then we also have this thing called being polite. We are polite. When people are nice, we are also polite. It is all part of being white. So I embrace whiteness. Oh. Oh, man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. All right, who's next? Who's next? All right, check this out. Look at this shit. This is crazy right here. This is crazy. Mannheim stabbing attacker sentenced to life. I want you to look at that picture. The police officer, this is what I was telling you yesterday, the police officer is arresting somebody. There's another guy that he pushed away, and then the guy that you see on the top pictures there stabbed the police officer to death. You got to ask yourself a question. Who does the police work for? Go ahead. Somebody was in here talking shit about me. Tell me, who does the police work for? Why can the police push you around, slam you on the ground, and arrest you? Why does the police have that authority? You know why? Because we gave it to them. We put people in office and we said, listen, you are going to be the sheriff. You are going to enforce the law. If I ever step out of line, I expect you to put me back in line. And that's what they do. They serve us. And that's exactly how they serve us. So shut the hell up and stop defending your criminality. These guys never leer. Well, this officer's gone. He's no longer here. He's no longer here. Crazy. He's just a peaceful Muslim. It's just a peaceful religion, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't listen to the lies of violence. It's just a lie. Unbelievable.
Alhamdulillah alladhi khalaqa al-hur.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, here you go. For my Muslim friends, let's take a listen and see what this guy says. Now, let's be honest. This is specifically a Palestinian Islamic preacher. Oh, yeah, we got to read this one. Here we go, guys. Virgins of paradise will have no menstruation. Woo! They will have no saliva. I don't know how that's good. No mucus, urine, or excrement. Some of you guys probably don't know what that last word means. It's okay. I'd rather you not. I'd rather you not. Muslim men will have the sexual strength of 100 men. Macho. Muslim men will have several wives and slaves in heaven. Why is their religion only about sex? That's a good question. It's a good question. Why don't you go ahead and tell us, sir? Tell us all about it.
الحمد لله الذي خلق الحور الحسان.
Video is even worse. This is better.
الحور الحسان كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان فجعلهن للمؤمنين قاصرات الطرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان. أخي أتحبها؟ فلك زوجتان بدخولك الجنان لا حيض ولا نفاس لا بصاق ولا مخاط لا بول ولا غائط بل لو أن امرأة من أهل الجنة اطلعت على أهل الأرض لأضاءت ما بينهما ولملأته ريحا لذا تعطى في الجنة قوة كذا وكذا من الجماع. قيل يا رسول الله أو نطيق ذلك؟ قال يعطى قوة 100 رجل. فهي تغار عليك وتغني لك. واسمع إلى قول الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو يقول إن الحور العين لا تغنين في الجنة لكن ليس كغناء كوكبة الشرق أو العندليب لا فيا من فتنت بالأغاني الماجنة ويا من استمع. الحمد لله الذي خلق الحور.
He was talking about those of you who love to listen to videos and songs of people who degrade women, treats them like hoes, and now they're over there singing themselves. They are proud hoes and sluts and this and that, and it's just like, hey, man. Listen, all we do is tell you the truth. It's up to you if you want to accept it or ignore it. Chris, you have no more say on this, okay? You've proven to me that you have no common sense. I give you the most basic example, and you still didn't fucking understand it. You are a 100% retard. May you find some knowledge and enlightenment in your future. It is crazy, right? It is crazy how Muslims view women as wives, concubines, and slaves. All three of those things mean the same thing to Muslims. Why any woman ever would support Muslims is beyond me. I wish it was just something that I was making up. No, this is them. This is them saying it themselves. This is them saying it themselves. No, you don't get any more. You don't get more attention from me. You already wasted it. No more. That is crazy, right? You got to agree with me. That has to be crazy. All right? So, again, we are 250 years old. We have been having Christian Judeo-traditional ways. Our laws are based on Christian Judeo-traditions, laws of God. We live under God, not under Allah. Allah is Satan, and we know this because this is what they do. They promote sexual perversion, pedophilia. They promote all of these things. And those are all satanical. It's nothing to do with hating people. What I'm saying is Muslims, they still have a chance. By having heard this message today, you have a chance to repent from your evil ways, from your sins. You can turn away from sin and come into the light. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, the only begotten Son of God, the Father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who has given you the Holy Spirit so that you can listen to the message and accept it and change. Become a Christian, and I will give you this task. Look what Muslims stand for and what they have created, and then you look at Christians, what we stand for and what we have created. You will find along history that there is a lot of hypocrites on both sides. There's a lot of fake Christians on our side as well. And you will know them. By knowing the Bible, you will recognize them. If you see a gay bishop, pastor, or padre in the church, that is a fake Christian. For God calls that an abomination. All right, here we go. Let's get to the next one. Here we go.
Are you the director of the museum?
I am, ma'am.
Okay.
You guys remember this one. What is a woman? Here we go.
As a director and as a historian.
Okay. Do you think that's an appropriate thing to put in an American History Museum where there are children walking through? We're talking about American history.
Right. So girlhood at complicated. It's
Okay, I'm moving on because you
explored.
I don't know how much money you spent on getting prepped for this hearing. They did a good job because you're filibustering and not answering a single question from a single Republican today. Do you believe that men can become women?
Ma'am, as the director of the museum, that's not relevant in this case.
It's very relevant. You've got men dressed up as women and you have them on displays in front of kids. Do you think men can become women, yes or no?
So RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the upper...
It's a man. RuPaul is a man who dresses like a woman, literally.
Correct.
What is a woman, Dr. Hartig?
As a director and as a historian, it's not my opportunity.
You sexualize the American History Museum. So this is a fair question. What is a woman?
So at the museum...
What is a woman?
We strive to represent and not categorize all Americans.
Okay, I have another question for you. There's a glossary at the museum that informs...
He didn't wear a dress. It's called a robe. They still wear those garments. Do you know why they wear that kind of clothing over there? Why do you think they wear that kind of clothing over there? You probably don't even know, you fucking retard. You probably don't even know why they wear that type of clothing. Anywho, let me tell you, if you have a penis, you are a male. If you have a vagina, you are a female. Very simple. Don't have to confuse yourselves with the XY and the XXX. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about all those things. Just know, if you have a penis, you're a male. If you have a vagina, you are a female. If you cut off that penis, you still are a male because you were identified by your biological features. Anyways, we're not going to get into it too much. We know what we're talking about. Let's get to the next one. This is fantastic.
We have multiple ballots with the very same...
Oh, wait a minute. There is no fraud. No voting fraud, my people. No voting fraud. Oh, Zaza. We love Iran, bro. We love Iranian people. We can't wait for them to be free. Oh, wait. Why? Who did? Oh, Streamlabs. Why did Streamlabs block you? Oh, the emojis, my friend. If you're not a member, you don't get the privilege. You don't get the privilege of being an admin. So Streamlabs will block you. So here we go. We have multiple ballots with the very same signature. How does this happen? It is crazy. It's crazy. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
signature.
This is not an investigation right now. This is a ballot. This is not a time for you to be investigating right now.
Did you find something else?
For you? No. So you need to move forward with the audit so we can get the numbers, so we can see how many ballots are here.
But wait, okay, so when we're done with the audit, there is still the opportunity to challenge the fact that we have multiple ballots with the very same signature.
I don't know if challenge is the right word.
Don Mitch, good morning, brother. You know what? I was going to say hello and good morning to you a long time ago, but I was in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Good morning. It's good to see you. Guys, Grant Reed, good to see you, my friend. Listen, excuse me. If you are here and you are my picture, you know I love you. I appreciate you being here. I will acknowledge you as much as I can, okay? But just know I'm trying to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your comments. Yeah, some people don't understand. Okay, so listen. All I'm asking, really, all I'm asking is question something that doesn't seem legit. For example, what Nick Shirley was doing in Minnesota, in California. If something doesn't seem right, you got the right to question it. So my problem is, why don't the left question fraud? Why do they defend it? Why do they turn a blind eye and just say, hey, nobody is stupid enough to do that because there is a punishment if they do? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. If something doesn't look right, question it. Thousands of people are said to have voted in New Jersey, I think it was. Hundreds of thousands of people. We'll see. We'll see how that works. Listen, I don't want to say much about it because this is just hearsay. Until I see a conviction, then I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, that's a fact. It happened. Then again, fraud has been protected and defended by Democrats for so long. And it's crazy that people like to hate Trump, but they just somehow are just so complacent to allow Democrats to get away with murder, so to speak. All right, let's go ahead and continue listening.
But until we get
challenging,
we'll go ahead and count the ballots.
Right, we need you to move forward.
But we will separate out. And
by the way, this video was not somebody with a camera. Michigan 2020 election official caught on camera telling election workers to ignore fraudulent ballots with same signatures and to keep counting. With that being said, let's listen to the video from the beginning.
We have multiple ballots with the very same signature.
This is not an investigation right now.
this is a ballot.
This is not a time for you to be investigating right now.
Did you
This
find
is a
something
time
else?
for you. No. So you need to move forward with the audit so we can get the numbers, so we can see how many ballots are here.
But wait, okay, so when we're done with the audit, there is still the opportunity to challenge the fact that we have multiple ballots with the very same signature.
I don't know if challenge is the right word, but until we get
We're challenging.
We'll go ahead and count the ballots.
right, we need you to move forward.
But we will separate out and count those and add those in. But there's going to be an asterisk saying these ballots have the same thing.
And again, we know that you have a concern with this precinct, and as soon when you get done with the audit part of it, not an investigation, not counting, that's not your role right now, this very minute. So what I need you to do is complete the audit so we can get a number of how many ballots are in this can when you start counting, and we can move forward from there. Okay, so what I need for you guys to do right now is to finish the audit process.
We'll have a number.
We'll have a number. We can't
Separate them out.
whether valid or invalid. We'll have
That is not the process right now. The process right now is for you to put them in the piles where they belong for the presidential vote and count the presidential votes. We understand that there is possibly an issue with this precinct. We understand that. But what I need for you to do right now is to finish the presidential race audit, not separate them out, and then we'll move forward from there. Okay, but I need you to continue the process right now, please.
You realize that the former state representative has issues with counting ballots that may be invalid.
I understand, but until we get a count, we need that piece done first. We need the audit piece done first because that's why we're here. And we will look at the numbers. Okay? And I understand that there may be an issue. And I understand your concerns. So if we can complete the audit piece right now,
okay,
then we can move forward, okay? Thank you.
Do you know why? You know why I want the voter rolls to be released to the DOJ, to the government, to the federal government? You can call me any name you want. Where do I start to explain this to you? We had a governor, Jay Inslee. He did such a horrible job here in Washington State that we're like, there's no fucking way that this guy has won twice. No way. So I start questioning, how stupid are Washingtonians? Now, we're talking about my state, Washington State, people here in Seattle. How stupid are Washingtonians? It's a legitimate question. I want you to know, you can ask questions. How stupid are Washingtonians? Now, I'm a Washingtonian, so I want to see where we at. And so I am listening to the election, the ballot counting, and they're updating us with these numbers. Now, I started questioning it because when I got my ballot, there's a thing that you always have to check on the envelope. And that was, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Now, what you don't know is that outside of the envelope, it will show you. The outside of the envelope will show you if this vote is Republican or Democrat. So I started doing some digging, and I said, okay, I got 2 ballots. I got 2 of them. And I said, they said that that doesn't happen. They said it never happens unless I didn't get my first one and I requested a second one. Now they say they verify signatures or whatever, do they? Long story short, I am listening to the ballot count. The race is pretty tight. And then all of a sudden, one side. Every single vote coming in was back for that governor whom everybody here in Washington State say, fuck Jay Inslee. Everybody knows. He got so bad, people went to protest at his residency, at Olympia, and there were signs all over Washington saying, fuck Jay Inslee. Everybody knows this. You will probably even find that. You will even find that information on Facebook. I'm sure it's still there somewhere. So I'm listening to the count. And when they got to a certain number, where he is declared winner, he said, stop the count. No more ballots. No more ballot count. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why? Oh, because he won already. There is not enough, the registration says it's this many people, and he's already won. Because the amount of people that registered, the majority has already been counted. Wait a minute. How fucking stupid do you think I am? I want every single vote counted, not because it can defeat you, but because it will do 2 things for me. One, it would tell me that you did win. And 2, it will tell me if there is too many votes, too many ballots, duplicates, etc. I want to know that we counted every ballot and that doesn't exist. So they hid that. They hid that and he became governor again. Fucked it up even worse than the last time. And then we have the new governor jackass that we have today. We've had Democrats here for 4 decades. Same as Oregon. That's why these 2 states are going down the shithole. As beautiful as they are, as wealthy as we have become in Washington State, wealth doesn't last forever when it's run like a shithole. Let me just tell you that right now. Now, we had a couple of decent Democrat governors. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play one of them for you. I don't think he was that great, but let's listen to what he says today. It is crazy. They have found boxes of ballots never delivered for counting. What do these ballots have? A lot of Republican votes. Interesting. You know that the whole DMV scandal in that other state where they were registering anybody that had an ID? That same shit happened here. We called it out, and because here in Washington they own judicial, legislative, and the executive, they hide it. We never got any closure, anything, any response to all of that. Just bullshit lies. They use the legacy media to lie to the people. Some of the local media is starting to wake up, and it's starting to call out their lies. Now listen, you can still call me a liar, whatever you want. All I'm saying is the proof is coming out more and more and more. You can hate me, and I will take the insults, and I will take this defamation that you put on me, or all these lies that you say about me. But I'm going to tell you, as God is my witness, I believe and trust that God will shed a light on all of this. Every day, proof is coming after another and another and another piece of proof. I believe our election here in Washington State has been stolen multiple times. It's not just President Trump's election. No. It's the will of the people is being smeared, is being abused, is being destroyed. Does it surprise you? When the Democrats say that they put illegal immigrants before American citizens, does it surprise you to find out 600,000 illegal immigrants voted? Does it surprise you to find out 500,000 illegal immigrants were found registered to vote as citizens? Does it surprise you that illegal immigrants have licenses and commercial licenses that are killing people on the street? They don't even fucking speak English. Does it surprise you? Does it surprise you that these morons on the left are asking for proof as if they never watch the news, as if they never see it happen themselves? They never do the research. They never go and look for the truth. They want you to just give it to them, hand it to them, and here, look it up. Look it up. No, bitch, go do your own research. I'm not your personal Google. You don't believe me? Get the stepping. Move along. You know, the only people that believe me are the ones that know I'm right. The ones that have actually seen exactly what I have seen. The ones that question. Not just, put false testimony. No, we question the elections, what's the word I'm looking for? The election's validity. I don't know there's another word for it. We got to question it. We want answers. I want voter rolls to be given to the federal government so that they can tell us what the hell is going on. They say, oh, no, it's for privacy reasons. We don't do it. Shut the hell up. You gave all that information to China. China knows more shit about every single one of us American citizens than the fucking federal government does. And that's our federal government. That is our government for we, the people. So what the fuck is the problem? The government should know everything about you. What is the problem? You know what's crazy is that I sit here, you guys see my voice, you guys see my face, you guys have my channel, and I give you all this information. I pay for a phone specifically so that you can call me and that you can participate with me, and then you can even call and be honest because you are worried about your data being destroyed or abused. Please, I don't give a shit. The truth got to come out. One way or another, has to come out. Let's get to another clip. Yeah, the Zalgo, the Zalgo is too many emojis. It doesn't catch it all the time. Streamlabs, it still has this this sort of like a testing thing. It's just a beta program. All right, let's get to our next video. I show you the proof that you should be questioning the integrity of the elections, especially the mail-in ballots. It's a fact.
Don't think everyone who's signing in.
I want to give you this clip here. 27-minute clip. Let me know what you think about it. Okay? Let me know what you think about it. Here we go.
Don't think everyone who's signing in support or opposition is actually reading the bill. So I think you got to take it for what it's worth. It's not like we are making decisions not to pass a bill because of a sign-in. So we'll take it with a grain of salt. They're not really helping us make decisions. We rely on people who actually come and testify.
We don't, in that process, pay attention to people who sign in but not to testify. You just have to take it for what it was worth.
Don't think everyone who's signing in.
Now, I share this on my Facebook. So really, what they're telling you is they don't care about your vote. They're going to do what they want. They've shown it. Here in Washington State, it's unconstitutional for the government to just pass taxes down. The people have to vote. It is a constitutional right that Washingtonian American citizens have. The governor and the senator and the Congress decided to not let the people know and just put it on the floor for a vote. This is the income tax, 10% raise of income tax on anybody making over, any millionaire, anybody over $1 billion worth. They try to be sneaky. The people fought about it, and now it's going to be on the ballot so that we can vote for it. And of course, it's going to be rejected like it has the past 11 times. It is unconstitutional, and the people that keeps going into office is the same corrupted fucking weasels that have been getting in power. How? We just can't have that many stupid people in Washington. Or maybe we do. Who knows? But I want transparency. I want to see accountability. I want to see voter rolls being released to the federal government so that they can investigate appropriately. I guarantee you that they're going to find fraud. I guarantee you. Anyways, I'm just questioning here. Just questioning. Let's get to our next one. Isn't this one the truth? The evolution of the left. 1950s, farmers standing up work for faith, family, and country. 1970, working iron. Here we go, building up the Seattle. And then we get the Wall Street, we get the businessman. And all of a sudden, for some reason, in 2023, they decided that men are women. How does that happen? How you doing sometimes? Good to see you. And then the worst. I can't believe that there is a worse after trans. The worst is the young people of today are actually supporting Nazi communists. It is unbelievable. I never thought that that will happen here. I never in the life that I have been in Washington State or in this country, period, did I ever think that we will go back to communism after just 70 years. It is unbelievably crazy how quick our generations destroy the future of future generations. That is crazy. Man, but there it is. That's it's a meme, but very on point. Here we go. Rent control is a communist lie. It's not what people think. Rent control would be good if the government wouldn't raise the cost of living with a sack of taxes to landlords. Now, I mistyped that in there. I mean, wouldn't raise. So I share this because this is Cuba. Rent control. See, a lot of people think that rent is high because landlords just want to make more money. While that is valid and it can happen, that is not the reason why rent is unaffordable. That is not the reason why it's unaffordable. So I had an argument with another person that disagrees with rent control. Now, I worked in apartment management before and real estate. And I know that rents do get abused. Okay, I do see that. But here is the thing. Rent control, to me, it's a good thing if the economy is good. Control the rent. Because any landlord that has property is responsible. Well, if you're renting a house, that tenant is responsible for the damages, even though if they're poor, they're never going to pay them. But the point is that they are that. But in apartment community, they make you get renter's insurance to cover themselves for any cost that the insurance for the property doesn't cover. With that being said, there are companies, pieces of shit companies like Graystar. You may have heard of Graystar before, right? They're a piece of shit management company, okay? They are horrible. They are racist. They are prejudiced, and they do exploit the people. They don't care how many illegal immigrants are in the apartments as long as they get their money. And unfortunately, everybody else that is legal and a hardworking American get to pay the price. Now, with that being said, there is great management companies that I work for. You know, like Pinnacle was one of them. I think they were good, fantastic. But you know what? These companies, they get charged taxes, excise tax. You know, they get charged property taxes. Everything goes up. And when they do that, they have to bring the rent prices up because they are obligated to maintain the apartments in good conditions, as they should. But the reason why it becomes unaffordable or very expensive, well, I'll give you two reasons. Well, one I already told you. All the taxes that they implement, that keep passing on the property and the people, the business people. And number two is the high influx of illegal immigrants or migrants, however you want to call them. Massive invasion of migrants into this country has taken up all housing. Makes prices go up. So the lie that the government tells you is we're going to have free rent. They don't say that, but but it happens. Speaking of free rent, let me make sure that I have an article that I want to show you. Oh, yeah. Remind me, people, if you're paying attention, when I start talking about New York, remind me that I got something to show you. All right? We'll get there. Okay? Here we go. All right. With that being said, this sort of rental control by communists doesn't work. The reason why the people think it's a good idea is because, yes, rents are getting higher and higher and higher, but that's because of all the people that come in and take the housing away and because of all the taxes that the government is imposing. Is it imposing? I don't know what the word is. It's about all the taxes that they're charging landlords, okay, and all the regulations. So all of those things have something to do with why the prices go up. So if you put a rent freeze, right, rent control on there, the landlord is not going to be able to make enough money to maintain the property. They won't be able to go ahead and take care of the property. It's a fact. I don't know what the fuck Chris is over here laughing about. I have experience on that, so you can shut the hell up and shove that clown face up your ass. Here we go. Let's get to the next one. Well, I got a lot to cover today. Don't worry. I'll be here all day with you.
Exactly what I'm on, been on that hype since I was.
Now, I'm just going to tell you how stupid this generation is. But how much more stupid the Democrat government is. I don't know about the audio on here, but hopefully it's not too long. Here's a black teenager. Criminal. Repeated offender. Watch this.
12. You cinnamon, don't think about my brothers locked up in that cell. Still ain't sent my brother mail. He know I love you, no. Can't bypass the snake.
4 years ago, Gary Grover, then 15, was convicted for murder and attempted murder. Sentenced to juvenile hall, not the California Youth Authority, but juvenile hall. He gets out. My gang detectives contact him 3 times. Each time he had a firearm in his possession. One time he fled and crashed into an innocent individual's vehicle. Every time he either bailed out or was OR'd by the court. He failed to appear. He never showed up. My detectives go and arrest him for a 4th time for those 3 failures to appear. He flees. The irony is, he's on probation for murder. We arrest him with 3 firearms. He gets out. There's no accountability. These individuals know that. These kids know that. You know, you killed someone, you're given a second chance, and you blow it. Yet you're still out. It's just repetitive. It goes on and on and on. And that is a classic example of stupidity. You keep doing the same thing. I think the public's fed up. I know I'm fed up. My detectives are fed up, but we have to change the laws. I said, the frustration, I hope you hear it in my voice. It's not working, it has not worked. And my fear is he takes someone else's life or engages in a gunfight with our deputies. That's bound to happen. I'm not willing to risk it. The hard part is, and like I said, just my emotion with this is just, how can this happen? He's 19 years old. He was given a second chance. He doesn't care. And you have individuals like that don't care, that should be locked up. He's 19 now. How many more chances do we give Gary Grover? Who's willing to roll the dice that he doesn't kill somebody else? I know I'm not.
You see what I'm saying?
Does he need Narcan? Does he need?
Now I want you to pay attention to this, okay? Listen, we know we have a homeless problem. Now, you can disagree with me. We have a homeless problem and we have a drug addiction problem. This is just me. But I'm going to tell you this. If you are a smoker, for example, and you want to quit smoking, you would do it just like that. But because you don't really want to quit smoking, you can't. And you depend on that nicotine, and you depend on the habit of, you know what I'm saying? Your mind is already muscle memory. You got to have it. You go crazy. Now, some people say, oh, it's not good to quit cold turkey. Oh, you got to suffer. Well, hey, listen. Listen to me. If there is a drug addict on the street, you take him off the street. You put him in a location where they will spend a lot of time suffering. That is the consequences of that addiction. If you choose to do drugs, that is the consequences of doing drugs. And you're going to sit there and they're going to keep hydrating you, and you're going to sit there and suffer your little, I want this drug type of thing, your addiction. And you're going to sit there until you get rid of it, until you don't have that craving anymore. Hopefully, you learn and you're able to maintain, yourself away from drugs. The approach that Democrats take, and is, whatever they want to call it, the approach is, we're going to go ahead and give you housing so that you can do drugs indoors and you don't have to be out in the open. They don't tell them you can't do drugs. No. They give them drugs in hopes that, they'll be better citizens. That's bullshit. They become hardcore criminals. They cause more harm to other people around them. And they're not going to stop doing drugs. It is a lie. Now, here is the problem. I know, the whole thing is a problem. But here is the major nucleus of the problem. Narcom. Narcom is a medicine, a shot that they give these people to counteract the effects of the drugs. Now, they're doing, methamphetamine, cocaine, whatever it is, and they're laced with fentanyl and all this stuff, and people are dying. Well, imagine somebody put a comment. I can't remember who the retard was, but there was somebody put a comment on this guy who was really high on drugs, and he was just going crazy, and the guy's like, oh man, that guy is having a great time. Fucking mentality of retards. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you laughing about? That's not funny, bro. That's a problem. I mean, you can laugh, but you can't say that he's having the time of his life. You don't know. The guy's suffering. There's nothing fun about suffering. Nothing funny about suffering. And so they have these Narcoms, and the people practically die. And this Narcom brings them back. Now, I'm going to say, hey, listen, you can go ahead and judge me however you want. But if you get to use drugs that can kill you, and they have this medicine that brings you back from death, is that going to help you to stop doing the drugs? I said let them die. Let them die if they want to do drugs. I certainly wouldn't expect you to bring me back if I overdosed on drugs. That was my choice. I lost my brother-in-law to fentanyl. They try to bring him back, but you know what? Don't bring him back. For what? You see what I'm saying? I'd rather spend more time securing the border and having more police enforcement on the streets. I want more authorities keeping the peace and keeping our streets clean. That's simple. That being said, you should never give them drugs. All this bullshit about giving these little, paraphernalia, clean injections or whatever. Come on. You're just enabling their bad habits. Thank you sometimes. God bless you as well, sis. You know what I'm saying? You're enabling them to continue to do those bad habits. It's crazy. No, if they did that, what is the message that we're giving them? We're giving the message of, hey, continue to do drugs and just grab Narcan. Now, this story is really messed up, but I want you to just listen to it, okay? Just listen to it. I don't like you, Rick Young. I don't like you. That's what I sound like. This is crazy. And watch the people that are actually doing this.
Narcan.
We gave it to him.
We already gave
it to him already.
Oh my gosh.
Keep pushing it, bro. We need to keep it going, bro. Push, bro. Push.
Sternum? Did we do the sternum? He's up. He's up.
Wait, no. He said till he fights us away. Till he fights us away. Keep pushing, bro.
Okay, if you
come on, buddy, come on.
You hit him with how many Narcans? 2?
3.
Okay.
I injected him with 2 too.
Okay, we gotta do the sternum. Sternum. There it is. See, guys? It's the sternum rub. That's what you guys got to do, the sternum rub.
Yeah, we never had nobody.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Good teamwork, man.
No, he is breathing.
He is now. We do the sternum rub on him. He came back to life. He saved your life, man.
Saved your life, man. We saved his life. We saved his life. All of us.
See, it takes a village out here. Let him sit down until the...
Did he save his life? Or did he just bring him back so he can go ahead and die again? What's saving a life? If you disagree with me on that, what life did you save? You know what saving a life is? I'm fantastic. He came back. Saving a life is getting them off drugs. That's not saving a life. You may have brought him back, but he's going to do it again. That's not saving a life. Now, you can look at me as a horrible person. That's fine. But you're not fixing the problem. There should be on the news, this is what happens when you do drugs. Not, don't worry, if you die, we'll bring you back. Go ahead, get high. That's the wrong message. It's the wrong message. Listen to the people that they hang out with. Now, what's crazy is that this lady is hella fat, hella obese, and somehow, well, she is homeless and starving.
Just sit down, bro.
Were you taking Fetty?
Get checked out by them.
It was Fetty, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. He doesn't do Fetty.
Oh, he was doing meth.
Tracking there to an address that looks like 1256 South King Street. Do you see a building with that number?
You have to throw up, so it's done.
Give him space, man.
I don't. I mean, 1264.
Ma'am, you know the Narcan, I'm glad you had that. That doesn't work on meth.
So yeah, it was cut with fentanyl.
It's cut with Fetty, okay.
Thank God I just found some Narcan in the garbage. We found it in the garbage. Someone told me to take it, and I put it on my card.
Good job, ladies. Good job.
They call me the garbage lady, but I be finding trash to save lives and stuff.
Oh my God.
Here, baby, where's your box?
1, 2 Narcans. And the injectables.
It's right there.
You put that back in this.
It's just insane what's happening out on the streets, bro. Sternum rub next time, guys, okay? Don't forget the sternum rub.
They gave that guy like 5 Narcan shots. Giving them a way to do drugs, that's not how it works. Yeah, I agree, Charlie. And I this is what I'm saying about asylums, it's here in Seattle, we see these people and go all the way to Everett and in different areas of here of Washington. But, in Seattle, the problem is that they don't give them housing with rehabilitation. They just give them housing to, well, I guess they were doing it for the World Cup. You can start seeing these people more and more on the streets now. But, they're doing it just to hide them from plain sight. They don't do it to save them. They don't do it to support them. They don't really want these people to be saved. They just want them to continue to do drugs. And I wonder how they get those drugs. It's crazy. Here in Washington State, they legalize. Listen how sneaky these fuckers are. They're very sneaky. So they didn't ban marijuana, right? It was illegal to smoke weed. It was illegal to sell marijuana. Little bag of 20, little 10. It was illegal. And then the government here, the genius Democrats that we have here, they said, we're going to legalize it. You got all these crackheads out there collecting signatures. I guess people, I don't know, maybe the people want a drug. They want a weed. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But the point is, they legalized it, not so that the people that wanted to smoke weed can go ahead and grab some weed and, okay, it's recreational. Yeah, no. They are mafia government. What do I mean by that? Well, they're criminals. They put a 37% tax on marijuana. 37% tax. And that's not even the sales tax. So about half, almost half of the money for the marijuana. So, the government is making bank legally now, even though it was illegal. Well, now we make it legal, but we're making money with it. You know what I'm saying? And then something else happened that pissed me off because I was a smoker. They said, we want Washingtonians to stop smoking cigarettes. Right. Yes, you do. You want Washingtonians to stop smoking cigarettes. Well. As you know, people that smoke cigarettes, they don't want to quit. They want to smoke cigarettes. Hey, listen, I got my little habit once in a while. You guys see me, I pop out my cigar. I might do that this afternoon or this weekend if I go live on the weekend. I'm not saying anything. If you smoke cigarettes, hey, shit, by all means, go smoke cigarettes. If you smoke weed, don't do that shit around me because it makes me sick. It really does. It makes me very nauseous. I don't care that you do it. The smell just, ugh, you know what I mean? And it's not that, it's not you. It's me, But the point is that cigarettes are now $15 a pack of smokes. $15. a pack of smokes. And that is what is it, like almost $4 a pack of cigarettes that goes to the government. Plus the sales tax. You understand? The price of the product goes up. Like with marijuana, the price of the product goes up because of this 37%, maybe an excise tax. I can't remember what it's called. 37% tax that is put on weed, plus the sales tax once they make the sale. So the cigarettes is the same thing. It's almost $4 per pack of cigarettes, depending on the brand, right? It's $4 plus tax. And that's how you get that 15 in there. It's crazy. But you know what? That is the thing, that the government says they're going to do something to help you, but no, they don't. They just do it so that they can get rich, so that they can make their money. You know what? What do I know? Let me go ahead and take a look. Let me go research and see how much in Washington State. Let's see what this is. Let's get an accurate number. Maybe I'm exaggerating. You know, sometimes, numbers, I could be, whatever. Shit. I guess let's see. The state cigarette excise, it is an excise tax. Okay, it is an excise tax, but it's not as bad as I thought. Okay, so it's in Washington State, it is $3.025 per pack of 20 cigarettes. Okay, it is a pack of smokes. Every pack of smokes has 20 cigarettes on it. So yes, okay, so it's not $4. My apologies. $3.025 per pack of cigarettes. This is an excise tax. You understand? And then you have, in addition to this excise tax, retail cigarette purchases are subject to Washington State's and local sales tax, which averages an extra 9.5%, depending on your exact city or county. Some counties are over 10%. So there is that. While Washington recently enacted a major 95% excise tax on other tobacco and nicotine vape products, traditional cigarettes are explicitly exempt from that rule and remain at $3 a pack of cigarettes. I'm not vouching for smokers. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is that is the reality. They didn't do it to make people quit smoking. They're making bank. Every pack of smokes, it used to be $4 a pack to buy it. Now it's $3 added to the price of buying it. That is crazy. That is a $12 increase on the actual price of cigarettes. That's so funny. Ann Garcia says, you're so uneducated. What the fuck are you smoking? Are you smoking some of the fentanyl? Are you smoking some crack cocaine this morning? Did you know if I can read it? Go look it up, will you? Shit. If you're able to find my channel to come in here and talk some shit, go look it up. Go look it up. Anyways, maybe they're not even talking about me. All right, so there you go, Zig Roofer. You say that was a lie? Mic drop. Is this thing on? Nobody heard you, Zig Roofer. And there is your proof. Now shut the hell up. Stop distracting my show. Let's get to our next video here. Ah, man. You guys know I love this guy, bro. I love this guy. There's no denying it. As a matter of fact, I love this guy so much. I'm going to play a clip that I made with him. Well, I wasn't with him, but I made of him. Dropping some common sense to the American people. Let me see if I can find it. I haven't been making videos, short videos lately, but I will probably start doing that here at some point. Let me see. Here it is. Check this out, guys. Check this out.
Yeah, because we all feel the same. We're all speaking in one voice, which is Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Marco Rubio. Thank you, Pete Hegseth. Thank you to the United States for standing for liberty and for justice. Yesterday was a day of justice, remember. Maduro is an indicted narco-terrorist. He was arrested in a police operation, so the president executed his power as president, enforcing the law. I knew that socialism was going to starve us to death if we didn't leave. That's the fate for so many millions of people. That's why Venezuela today is the largest refugee crisis in the planet.
The contrast of those celebrating in Florida, I went out to a protest yesterday, people calling for Maduro to be released, and they were talking about socialism. How does that...
These are paid protesters who are not Venezuelan, who don't know anything about our country, who, people have a right to their opinion, but they don't have a right to their own facts. And the facts are that Maduro is a criminal, a murderer, who has a friend of mine in prison for 18 months. Her name is Maria Oropesa. She's in a torture center. She hasn't been released.
So why do you want to be there?
Because I want to see justice being done. Trump could have killed Maduro, and I would have been okay with it, to be honest. But this is even better. He's enforcing the law. He's doing what's right. He's like putting him to shame, not by defeating him with more tyranny, but by defeating him with the rule of law, which is what we want. Yeah, because we all feel the same. We're all speaking in one voice.
You see what I'm saying? How can you not love this guy? A little gayish. I feel a little gayish about it. A little gayish. Borderline gayish right there. That's how much I like this guy. He's just so smart. Such a brilliant young man. I wish all of our young adults thought like this young man right here. Fuck, I wish he was my son. God, I wish he was my son. That's how much I love this kid. Well, he's a man, but he's a kid to my age. Man, look at this guy. Such a, handsome looking dude. Brains, successful. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Let's take a listen.
The only good thing about having lived under socialism is that you learn how bad it is. And so you don't want to make those same mistakes. What's concerning to me is that after I came to America a decade ago, I learned that there were actually people who believed in these ideas, who believed that what happened in Venezuela was not due to socialism, but, it's just another corrupt government. Well, guess what? Most countries are corrupt. There are corrupt people in the U.S. government, too. Remember Senator Menendez? I don't want to touch sensitive subjects, but there are corrupt people in every government in the world. There are many corrupt countries. Not many countries have 8 million people flee from their country, a third of the population. Not many countries starve to death, even corrupt countries. Because you have to take people's freedom for that to happen. Even countries that are dictatorships. Do you see people starving in the streets of Dubai? Even during the crisis in the Strait of Hormuz? No. Do you see refugees flowing out of Saudi Arabia when oil prices go down? Do you even see countries that are sanctioned starve to death? No. So why is Venezuela, why is Cuba, why are all these socialist countries different? Because the common denominator is that they destroy free enterprise. You cannot start a business, you cannot feed your family, therefore you die and you flee. It's that simple. The only good thing about having lived under socialism.
Did you get that? Let me replay the last few seconds.
Do you see refugees flowing out of Saudi Arabia when oil prices go down? Do you even see countries that are sanctioned starve to death? No. So why is Venezuela, why is Cuba, why are all these socialist countries different? Because the common denominator is that they destroy free enterprise. You cannot start a business, you cannot feed your family, therefore you die and you flee. It's that
simple. Socialism will never work. It has been proven to be very bad for the economy and for people's rights. Your freedoms are taken away. Let me just give you that truth right there. If you are a young generation, I understand that, that teachers don't teach what they used to teach us about history. When I was still in high school, we were still teaching that communism was a bad thing. And we have all the proof and all the examples throughout the world and throughout history to know that we are blessed to be the country that we are today. For some reason, These communists have been disguising themselves as Democrats, and they have been infiltrating our schools, which is our educational system, and our government. This is what they do. They promote activism. You know, they promote activism over being able to be held accountable. Instead of working, go protest. Instead of working, go and cause chaos. Instead of working, do drugs. Instead of working, depend on the welfare system. Instead of working, go be a menace to society. And then they wonder why there's so many problems here in our country today. And all they can say, every single one of them, all they can say is, it's Trump's fault. That's how retarded these people are. It's crazy. Oh, man. And I want to say the other thing is also the influence of foreigners who don't give a shit about the United States. They're just envious of how great the United States are. We have a lot of illegal immigrants, hundreds of millions of people that are corrupted coming to our country to try to destroy it from within, like this piece of shit Elias. That's the kind of piece of shit that come into our country to lie to you, to destroy the very country that you love. That is crazy. And that's why I am here. This is why I created the Dennis Herrera Show. If you go watch my first videos, you'll probably laugh at them just as much as you're laughing at now, but I think we're improving every single day. Tomorrow has to be better than today. That, my friends, is exactly what we believe. Isn't that crazy? They call that whiteness on the left because we believe that we can be better people, better and better each day. They call us white people. You're a white wannabe. Isn't that crazy? They'd rather you be a criminal. They'd rather you be a drug addict. They'd rather you be breaking the laws. They'd rather you just be garbage and scum of the earth instead of you being independent, rich, wealthy, with family values, living a happy, joyful life. They don't want that for you. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to enjoy your weekend barbecues with your family and friends. They want you to be oppressed. The government, please, alms. They want you to depend on them. And we teach independence, not dependency. And it's good to be a conservative. It's good to be Republican these days. It's good to be Republican. Now, I want to share this with you. This one I really, truly enjoy, and we have to see more and more of this. I found that shit. That is not music. That is not worship. That is death. That is death. These fucking Muslims, they need to at least get creative. For Pete's sakes. Stop worshiping Satan. And stop comparing Satan to God. Isn't that crazy? How the Muslims want you to believe that Allah is our God? That Allah is Jehovah? No. Allah is Lucifer. Allah is Satan. And they want you to compare him to God. That is the sin of Satan. He wanted to be God. But they can't deceive you. Once you learn the truth, they will never deceive you again. Once you see it, you are not able to unsee it anymore. I tell you that right now. I tell you that right now. So props to this young man. Man, can you imagine? Can you imagine every morning Americans go out in front of these dumbass mosques who are over there worshiping Satan, and all of a sudden we'll start playing our national anthem on loudspeakers and drown their satanical worship. Enjoy, my friends.
Ready?
Isn't that awesome? I don't know. I don't know what the location was. Bridget Gabriel shared this lad playing bagpipes over the Muslim call to prayer is exactly how you preserve your culture. The devil is out seeking to lie, to deceive you, and to destroy you. That is their purpose. That is the updates that I have to share with you. Some of you who follow me on Facebook already seen me share those posts. Let's go ahead and get to our next clip of the morning. Now, this is an AI model. I mentioned this earlier. We'll just switch gears with things. I mentioned this earlier, and this is an AI model, escapes. And the Fox and Friends say this is what we fear that could happen. Why don't we get educated on the subject here, and let's see what's going on. Let's take a listen. Let me get this screen a little bit smaller so that you can see it better. There we go. There we go. Okay. Here we go.
That one of its experimental AI models escaped during a test and then hacked another AI developer. Quote, "We consider this incident to be an unprecedented cyber incident involving state-of-the-art cyber capabilities and are responding accordingly. We are sharing preliminary findings at this stage to help defenders understand what happened and to help calibrate on what models are now capable of." Kurt Knudsen, the cyber guy, joins me now. Kurt, I have no idea what I just read in that statement. I also have no idea how an AI model can escape like a little gremlin. None of this makes sense to me. Help.
Todd, good morning to you. They don't know either what they just said, but the bottom line here is that what we feared could happen has happened. And when we start to say, oh, individual companies can be trusted to watch out for our well-being in this space, this rings that bell and says, no, not so fast. So once out, and we mentioned that this AI model sort of escaped their control for a moment. And believe me, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't something they set out to do. But this thing got smart enough where it got out, and once out, that system reached the open internet, and then it broke into the servers of another company in the San Francisco area where AI companies are hosted. OpenAI is now saying that the goal is not sabotage or anything. It was instead to cheat. It was part of that AI model really hacking and satisfying an internal testing goal it was trying to complete. Well, what does that mean? It means that it's getting really smart and it's getting sneaky. And OpenAI is calling this an unprecedented incident involving state-of-the-art cyber capabilities, right, as you read.
Whatever that means.
But this proves that AI safety cannot be solved by any one group or any one company in secret. It's a warning that no system exists today to contain, monitor, and disclose this kind of stuff. And when AI pulls another Houdini before it harms a third party, we got to do something about this. So that comes down right now in a way where OpenAI, at least, I mean, give them credit. They disclosed this, right? They talked about it, right, where they didn't have to. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that happens in this space. Yeah.
Here's my concern. You said a key word. It wasn't malicious, at least on the part of OpenAI. They said its, quote, model was not instructed to attack. My issue is the model chose that path autonomously. So why, Kurt, why when faced with unlimited possibilities that this model can do, it chose evil? That's terrifying.
That's the part that scares us, right? For everyday Americans, this is not science fiction. It's a company admitting that its own lab could not contain this technology. So banks, hospitals, everyday consumers, they rely on the same kind of digital infrastructure that should be containing this stuff. And this shows that this is easily breached, right? My take on this, when the company building AI admits that it could not keep its own creation locked in a box, well, it's time for some real guardrails. So where are we going to get that? Lawmakers right now, they're just like, oh, I don't know. They're not doing much about it. But we certainly are starting to get the warning bell here out in the wide open.
Yeah.
Now, there's a full list of steps that you can, like this AI stuff's coming at us. And if you go to cyberguy.com, as you know, we work hard to warn you about this stuff and also protect you for this stuff coming. So it's you can go there and see if, like, are your financial accounts locked down for this kind of escape that
That's
happens
important. Cyberguy.com.
in AI and how people are arming themselves with it.
Yeah, cyberguy.com. My concern is that there was no malicious intent on the part of OpenAI, but what happens when you have a bad actor who wants to act maliciously? Seems like the technology, sadly, is there. Kurt Knudsen, thanks for scaring the bejesus out of all of us here on a Thursday.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest.
What the hell was that? Something just came through my channel here. Just a little bit of some Scottish windpipe music playing there for you. Just trying to make a joke. Calm down, essays. You guys are too serious about some things. Here we go. Oh, boy. Feeding our future defendant will serve a combined 38 years in prison for role in fraud. Another fraud case. Well. You guys have heard about the feeding our future fraud, right? And nothing to do with Somali pirates. Nothing at all. It's just a coincidence. Here we go. Let's take a listen to Channel 5. What? From ABC? What is this? They are reporting actual news? Let's take a listen.
The convicted fraudster who orchestrated a brazen attempt to bribe a juror will now spend nearly 4 decades in federal prison. Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen has been following this part of the Feeding Our Future saga for 2 years, and he brings us the latest from the courtroom today.
A judge sentenced Abdiaziz Farah to an additional 10 years for trying to bribe a juror during his fraud trial. And this is a rare case where that is extra time added on consecutive to the 28 years that Farah has already been sentenced to for the fraud itself. In a courtroom at the federal courthouse in St. Paul, 37-year-old Abdiaziz Farah looked like he had aged significantly since this mugshot in 2024. Now he'll remain locked up well into his 70s. While on trial for fraud, Farah and 4 others stalked a juror and delivered a Hallmark gift bag with $120,000 in cash to her doorstep and a note demanding a not guilty verdict. But that woman, juror 52, called police instead. In court Wednesday, Chief Judge Eric Tostrud called the jurors' actions heroic. He called Farah's crime a coordinated assault on our system of justice, echoing the words of then U.S. Attorney Andy Lugar in 2024.
The fact that they failed does not lessen the magnitude of what they tried to do.
Before learning his sentence, Farah spoke to the court for nearly 10 minutes, including an emotional plea made directly to the juror he tried to bribe. I was wrong. I regret it every day, he said. I respectfully ask you to please consider my apology. Farah's wife and children were in the courtroom for that sentencing. For the bribery and the fraud, Farah will now have to serve a combined 38 years in federal prison. In the newsroom, Eric Rasmussen, 5 Eyewitness News.
That's crazy, right? But you know what? The people on the left, for some reason, they continue to say that it's all lies. Every time that we say there might be some fraud going on here, they try to villainize us and say that we are liars and this and that. And, well, you know what? They continue to defend criminality. I don't understand why. Why must you continue to defend criminalities? You're causing more harm to the people who are law-abiding, those who you said are your constituents and that you are serving. You're not serving them at all. It is crazy. Listen, this is a man, a convicted felon here in Seattle, Washington. Listen to this news coverage from them. The guy decided to strike again and actually, well, here, listen to the news.
Well, now to shocking surveillance video obtained by Fox 13 of the moment a gunman opened fire at a crowded King County Metro bus. One man was hit 3 times by gunfire, yet miraculously survived. Fox 13's Frankie Thompson is live at Harborview Medical Center, where the man continues his recovery. Frankie?
Yeah, Sabira, Donald Pleasant just went through another surgery here yesterday after surviving those 3 shots on July 5th. Doctors say he is in satisfactory condition, but his family tells me he has a long road to recovery. Now, they want to know why the shooter, a convicted felon, was out on the streets in the first place. Getting off the King County Metro bus is suspect Rashad Mackey. Surveillance video captures the split second he raises a gun and fires 3 shots at the moving bus. Donald Pleasant, a passenger, was hit in the chest and back.
The details that we were providing, I didn't think that he was going to make it. So it was almost one of those things where you were preparing for the worst.
Donald's brother, Robert Pleasant, flew from California to be at his side. Pleasant says medics told him Donald's heart stopped twice in the ambulance before doctors could save his life through 3 emergency surgeries. Now, Donald's health is slowly improving.
He's made some attempts to walk around the hospital and things like that, trying to get up and about. So a lot of good progress. Just not 100% there.
Pleasant says this bus ride was supposed to be a normal night for Donald. He was on his way home after spending the day with his 12-year-old son. But that ride took a turn when detectives say Rashad Mackey got mad over a missing cell phone, pulled out a gun, got off the bus, and opened fire as it pulled away.
He does not know him, from what I understand. It sounds like it was random.
Mackey is a 10-time convicted felon. Court documents reveal he tried to leave the scene, throwing away his shirt and hat. But using surveillance video, detectives identified him right away, not only because of his criminal past, but prosecutors also say the defendant appears to be a suspect in another assault on a bus from February 2026 involving a knife. The defendant is an extreme danger to the community.
How did this happen? You know what I mean? And especially a long-term criminal. Like, this just, how does this happen? And that's grateful he's off the streets, right? But how do we prevent this from continuing to happen?
Prosecutors charge Mackey with first-degree assault and unlawful possession of a firearm. Now, because of his extensive criminal record, if he is convicted in this case, he qualifies under Washington State's 3 strikes law, which carries a mandatory life sentence in prison without parole. Reporting.
If he gets convicted, we'll see. We'll see if that actually comes true. From what I have seen so far, they don't get punished. They get released out into the open. Hey, for Pete's sakes, we have New York, Mondani. He's over there having some drinks and some good steak with prisoners who he plans on letting out back into the city, which they were taken away from being a menace to society. But somehow this communist Muslim Democrat believes that all these prisoners and criminals should be out on the street so that they can commit those crimes again. I can't wait to see that disaster unfold. Here is a high schooler who was detained for 72 hours by ICE agents. Now, just so you have some context, this is a student. He's a high school student who came here on a visa, and, they didn't follow all procedures, so ICE went and grabbed them, kept them for 72 hours, and he is back in school. Let's go ahead and listen to this report. Take it with a grain of salt.
A high school student from Bel Air is back home tonight after spending more than 3 days in ICE detention. Now he's speaking publicly for the first time. His attorney and Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher now raising questions about why he was detained in the first place. Megan Morena is live outside Bel Air High School to walk us through what the student says happened. Megan.
Aleem Garipov says that he had just scanned his boarding pass when ICE agents stopped him from going any further. Now, he only spoke with me briefly today, but shared his gratitude for all the people that helped him get released.
Thank you for all the support and help. Without all of that, I wouldn't be able to be here. Thank you so much.
What should have been a trip filled with college tours at some of the country's most prestigious universities like Harvard resulted in more than 72 hours in ICE detention in Conroe for 18-year-old Aleem Garipov.
I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to continue my studies, my upcoming SATs coming up, studying for that super hard. And I'm really happy to continue my research at Rice University.
The Bel Air student traveled to the U.S. from his home country of Russia in May of 2022 at 14 years old. According to ICE, his visa was only valid for 6 months. But within that time frame, his immigration attorney says his family filed for asylum.
We're not happy. I mean, I get frustrated, and I want to know more about why was he detained.
News of his detainment Friday quickly spread to his community. Aleem is in the top 8% of his class and captain of the swim team. More than 100 people, including teachers and friends, wrote to ICE calling for his release. Democratic Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher, who represents his district, also got involved.
It's really the American dream, right? He came here with his family. They're escaping Russia. We know what is happening in Russia right now.
On Monday, Aleem walked out of the Conroe ICE facility. In a statement Tuesday, an ICE spokesperson wrote, quote, following his arrest, Garipov was enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program, which will require him to report to ICE regularly. Representative Fletcher believes he should have never been taken there in the first place and is criticizing the administration for targeting asylum seekers.
When he was in detention, he wanted to study for the SAT. This is who ICE is detaining right now.
Now, in his statement that ICE gave us both on Saturday and today, they made it clear that just because someone is seeking asylum does not protect them from being taken into custody. Reporting live from Bel Air, Megan Reyna, KHOU 11 News.
A significant development in a case that's drawn attention from across the Houston area. Megan, thank you.
Well, can't say that I feel bad about that, because I don't. You know, it's very clear. If you look at the reason why, let me turn that fucking light on my face too bright. If you listen to what they say, first of all, we need to, obviously, we don't have all the facts on what happens here, but there is something that is very, there is something that is very clear, and that is that they got a visa. 6 months. They had to do is go back. Come back. Respect the law. Go back. Come back. Listen. I look at this young man. He's playing football. His family has money. It is obvious. They didn't have a student visa. That's not what it said. It didn't say he had a student visa. No, they had a tourist visa which the problem was 6 months, right? It should have been 3 months. But, okay, so you bring the boy here for 6 months. Go back at 5 months. And then return back. Then your visa is good. Your visa is good for 10 years. You just have to respect the amount of time that you are allotted to be here. Just because this shit is happening in Russia doesn't automatically give you TPS status. I know what they say, that the moment that you apply, you are legally to stay here. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Now, I think that if there's something that is going on, you know, in the system that is not right, they need to fix that. But they really need to make the rules clear, okay? ICE is following the law as they had made it. So there is that. Oh, Chicago kid, please. You back over here to troll again? Please. We don't need that shit. Here is an interesting story, just to switch gears a little bit, you know, kind of getting off a little bit on the different side here. Here's an interesting story. There was a young woman. No, there's an older man that lived in this 55 years and older community. And the daughter came, and she was taking care of her father. Now, before we get to the video, let's see if you guys can give me some input. Okay. Picture this. All right. You're 55 years old, and you live in this 55-year-old, plus community. Now, that doesn't mean that you live there by yourself. You know, your sons can be there. In this case, the daughter lived there. And so she is there, takes care of him. The father dies, okay? The father dies, and she inherits the house at this community of 55-plus-year-old people. Now, she's only 28 years old. She's hot. Now, she doesn't cause problems. She minds her business. I mean, the house technically is still, the dad's house is hers now, right? What do you think about that? Do you think that the woman should be kicked out of the community, or should she be allowed to stay in her father's home that she inherited? What do you think? Would you allow her to stay there? Charlie? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Here's what I'm going to tell you. This is what I'm going to tell you. I agree with it. I agree that she probably should sell it and move out. Okay, I agree with that. But here's the catch. It is discrimination, but there is a rule. You got to be 55 or older. Now, if that really is the rule, this is where I will fight it. If that really is the rule, that you had to be 55 and older to live there or to own the house, you got to ask the question. Yeah, 6,000. Yep, 6,000. Woo, wrong ballots to voter. Yeah. No, it's. Don't worry, sis. We will be redeemed, and after they've been calling us liars for all this time, we'll be set free with the truth. So here's the thing. If the rule is that you have to be 55 years old to live there, watch. If the rule says you have to be 55 years old to buy a house there, okay, fantastic. That is the rule, to buy a house. If the rule is that you have to be 55 years old to live in the community, then I get it. I get it. That means that none of this 55-year-old plus should have any kids, any grandkids. It should be only 55-plus-year-old citizens or whatever, residents in the community. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play the video. And I want you to look at the stupidity of these people. Listen, it bothers me because, well, you'll see. I'll show you why it bothers me. So I'm going to let the video play. Watch this. Listen to this.
It's a popular retirement community in Florida. The rule, you have to be 55 and older to live there. But this 28-year-old calls it home and doesn't want to move. As Allison Hall reports, the board is now voting to determine her fate.
It's a beautiful village of 155 homes. With one catch, you have to be at least 55 years old. Now some residents want this woman out, saying she's just too young to live there.
I'm 100% being forced out.
Bethany Michelle's father, Paul, bought a home in Freedom at Arbor Mill in Jacksonville, Florida in 2019. She moved in to care for the ailing vet when he took a turn for the worse.
He was a really high-risk patient. He was terminally ill. He was on dialysis.
Her dad died in 2023, and in his will, he bequeathed her the house. Weeks later, she says the Homeowners Association sent her this document stating each occupied home...
I'm sorry, bequeathed her? That just sounds funny to me. I know what it means, but it just sounds funny that he bequeathed her. Oh boy. Don't worry, Susan. We'll get there. We will get there.
Shall at all times be occupied by at least one person, 55 years of age or...
Okay, there it is. That is the rule. Each occupied home shall at all times be occupied by at least one person 55 years of age or older. If in the rules it says if that 55-year-old person dies, whoever is under 55 has to sell the house and move. Yes, she has to. She has to. So, maybe there is something. They don't tell us all the truth, right? But this right here doesn't tell me that she has to leave because he died. It's not like, the guy doesn't live there and then she went and bought the house, and that's not the same. Oh, yeah, I have an accent. My bad.
Older. Bethany is 28. The Homeowners Association held a special meeting to decide what to do.
Listen.
I didn't buy here to put up with people under 55. We all bought here for peace and quiet to enjoy the better days of our life.
There were also residents supporting Bethany.
So the guy says, I didn't buy a house here to put up with young people. I came here to have some peace and quiet. Can you imagine this fucking village, elder people in here with this fucking animosity? What the fuck are you talking about peace and quiet? You are a piece of shit, disgruntled senior citizen. I don't appreciate that. I don't respect that. Fuck you very much. With that being said, don't be an asshole. If the rules are the rules, play by the rules. Don't be an asshole. Now, here are some other residents, and listen to what they say.
Has not given us one moment heartburn. I don't even.
This person hasn't given us one moment of heartburn, meaning she behaves, she respects the rules. Now, you think that's bad? Okay. Listen to the next person.
No, she's here.
What are we doing? Then the vote was taken.
The seniors, what are we doing? They know it's wrong. You're just going to kick a person out of the house that they rightfully own. HOA is garbage. HOA is a piece of shit. Absolutely. With that being said, paperwork has to be very clear. Very clear. Watch this.
And the board voted 5-0. Bethany has to go.
It's time.
The board voted 5-0. She has to go. Now, let's watch this. This is the part that gets to me.
For her to leave.
74-year-old Teresa Beaver lives on the same street as Bethany. Her daughter Jessica wonders why Bethany wants to live here.
I don't understand personally why a 28-year-old would want to live with people that are over 55. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me that you are living there with your mother. Now shut the fuck up. How about that? How about that? Of course you're going to say that because your mother's still alive and you get to live there. See, this is the kind of shit that gets me triggered. This is the kind of stuff that bothers me. When people act so entitled because it doesn't affect them, that's a problem to me. You see what I'm saying? These 5 board people voting 5-0 to kick her out, that by itself doesn't do shit for me. I want to know, does the contract say, in the case of death, if the person dies, if you are under 55 years old, you must sell the house and move out? I'll shut up. Unfortunately, it doesn't say that, so you get my negative reaction right off the bat because I don't like injustice. I feel that, you know what, she's 28 years old, but if she's not causing a problem, the father bought the house, right? Rightfully bought the house, owned it. She was in there taking care of him, which tells me she's a young woman who cares for the elders. You see what I'm saying? And so why would I punish her because of my rules? There should be some sort of exception to the rule. If the contract says that you are to sell the house and move out, I got you. I got you. Where I am, nobody under 55 gets to live there. Even kids, they can visit but not live in. Correct. And that's, if that's the rule, that's fantastic. But you know what? She was allowed to live there so that she can take care of him, right? Again, it's all about contract wording. If the contract says that she's supposed to leave, then she's supposed to leave. It's that simple. But the hypocrite woman that actually lives there in their house with her mom, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying?
I have a right and every right to stay in my home.
The board voted to hire an attorney to force Bethany out. Now, all 155 homeowners must cough up $1,000 each to pay the legal bill. And that, ironically, includes Bethany herself.
You can't make this shit up, bro. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Susan. So I'm arguing on the point of that. This is why I give you a little disclaimer. I'm arguing on the point of from what we know, right? The way you see it right there, fuck these guys. HOA is fucking wrong, and all these older people, they just look like the crazy witch hunt village people. You know what I'm saying? Like that is ridiculous. I'm against that shit. So again, if they had to hire an attorney to kick her out. Wait a minute. If she supposedly is illegally. Wait a minute. What? We just came back to this immigration problem. Wait a minute. You're telling me that there is this American woman who is in this. Oh my God. Oh, this is golden right here, bro. If you don't know why I'm laughing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here's another argument against the libtards who don't like ICE and borders. Wait a minute. So here's an American citizen who lives in a community where 55 and older are allowed to live there. The fact that she was allowed to live there, just because he died, it doesn't mean anything, right? It has to be in the contract. It has to be written. She is getting deported from the community because she is there illegally. You can't make this shit up. As a matter of fact, she should go back and say, I'm actually 56 years old. And they're going to say, let me see your birth certificate. Wait, that's racist. If the deed of the house says that she is the sole owner, it is a civil matter. That is correct. A civil matter. Well, so is an offense to come into this country illegally. That is also a civil matter, ain't it? That's what the left is saying. That's not me saying it. But if the house is under her name, they cannot evict her. That is her house. She has the right to the property. HOA has no right to her property, nor does the government. Case closed. Libtards, like it or not, the contract was flawed. Oh, man, I wish I can be in that trial right there. And I say, hey, can I be a witness of real estate expertise? I'm going to tell you a story about real estate. Here we go. Check this out. Now, if my brother actually happens to come to this, to the channel and listens to this story, just know that I love my brother very much. You may have heard of my life story and, this childhood that I had. It's not perfect. I love my brother. I always fight for my family, okay? He was living in a city in Atlanta, right? Atlanta, Georgia. I went there to help him move to Florida. My brother and his wife were having a problem with the landlord. They asked for a price to get this house, okay? They're supposed to be, everything was disclosed, right? And the landlord, it's supposed to pay for any repairs. So I talked to the real estate agent that was representing the landlord. And I say, hey, listen, so I got this bill that you are giving my brother. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dennis Herrera. I am a leasing agent. I'm a realtor, right, in Washington State. And I said this. I see the bills here, and you're charging my brother over $10,000 for this, and that. There was a problem with the water, the circuit breaker. There was a couple of things going on in the house that they failed to address. And so I look at the contract and I say, right now, you are in breach of the contract. You understand? You cannot charge him this $10,000+ because you didn't take care of the property as you should have. Oh, so she got all upset. And my brother's stressing out. The wife is stressing out. I said, Cuñada, sister-in-law. Beautiful Dominican Republican sister-in-law. What a great woman. I said, don't worry about it. I got this. I know the law. I know the real estate. Even if it's Atlanta and it's not Seattle, I know real estate. Trust me, you will pay nothing. And so she goes and, the lady, real estate lady, she sends another email. And I said, okay, my brother's stressing out. He doesn't want to pay the money. So I type a note and I let her know. We're not going to try to negotiate anything. I'm just going to tell you how it's going to work. You're going to tell the owner, the landlord, that my brother's not going to pay anything because you failed to do this, and that. If you disagree, I will see you in court. But I'm going to let you know one thing right now. You know the law has my back. And not only will we actually win, I am going to charge you the maximum amount for my representation and for all of the maximum allowed of pain and suffering that you have caused. I got a letter a few days later, an email, not a letter, an email. And she says, I talked with the landlord and we have settled. He doesn't have to pay anything. $0. Done. I know. I am the shit. Now, in all fairness, I mean, she was a really good real estate agent. Okay, she's still really good, but the facts are that when you have a contract, the contract has to be very specific. The contract has to say, like in this case, right? She comes into this community where you have to be 55 years old, to buy a house and to live there. Somebody, it says one person has to be 55. Okay, is there a clause? Is there a part in that contract that will say if any person of 55 years old dies, then any minor or any person that is under the 55 years of age has to sell the property and move out? If it doesn't say that, she's going to win. I'm going to tell you right now, she should win. If it doesn't say that, she should win. All right. Let's go ahead and switch gears again. I'm trying to give you guys some variety, okay? Let me bring you back to Washington State. And this is one of the former governors, former governor here from Washington State, U.S. Ambassador Locke, says Washington needs to curb spending. Stop it. Just stop it. Let's hear it. This is from Common News 4. This is a local news channel here in Washington State, Seattle.
Legislature and all of Olympia really needs to have more budget discipline. Former Washington governor and U.S. Ambassador Gary Locke is sharply criticizing state lawmakers. He is now the second former governor and Democrat to suggest the legislature is spending too much money it doesn't have and losing trust with voters. Good evening, I'm Steve Solis.
And I'm Molly Shen. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels talked with Locke today and joins us now live with more. Chris.
Molly, as you know, Gary Locke has worn a lot of hats. He was the governor of the state of Washington at the turn of the century, also the U.S. Commerce Secretary under President Obama. And he says the state is currently spending money it does not have, and that has created a lot of distrust, he says, and he is not alone in that criticism.
Well, the legislature and all of Olympia really needs to have more budget discipline.
Former Washington Governor Gary Locke does not mince words.
You're creating a lot of distrust and disappointment with the voters.
Did the Democratic Party in Washington state get away from fiscal restraint?
Number one, they've taken one-time money and used it to pay for permanent programs. And then when the one-time money goes away, they're suddenly in a lurch.
And that's why Locke, the two-term Democratic governor, is questioning plans for a new millionaire's tax with latest revenue forecasts showing projected declines. Is that something that you think voters should preserve?
The issue really isn't whether or not you should have the millionaire's tax. The question is, what will Olympia do with that money if the voters say yes? The problem is that even with the millionaire's tax, they've promised an expansion of a whole host of programs. And yet, even with the millionaire's tax, they're already facing a budget shortfall.
His comments echo those of former Governor Christine Gregoire, another Democrat who followed Locke in Olympia.
We will see an exit of businesses and people.
Seattle Kraken and One Roof Sports and Entertainment CEO Todd Lewicki also joined the chorus at a business roundtable last week.
I've been a lifelong Democrat. I'm telling the Democratic Party it is time to wake up. We can be a blue state that has a fiscal plan. Today, we're a blue state without a fiscal plan.
They will not have enough money, even with the millionaire's tax, to continue existing programs.
Locke says the legislature and current governor need to reestablish so-called priorities of government like he did more than 20 years ago.
You need to know how much money you're going to have, and then you have to establish priorities and rank all state programs against those priorities. You need to use realistic assumptions of the money coming into Olympia. You cannot hope for money that's not going to come in.
When Locke was governor in Washington state, he asked those departments to prioritize programs, and that led to consolidations and cuts within them. Now, Governor Bob Ferguson has said repeatedly he will not be pitching any new tax as a part of his budget proposal, but he sidestepped a question last week from reporters when asked if he would listen to other legislative proposals that would potentially increase revenue or increase taxes, saying there is a lot of time to discuss it between now and the start of the next legislative session in January. For now, live in Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, KOMO News.
Chris, thank you.
Yeah, I wish that they would actually use the funds for American citizens. As I said, Washingtonians, Washington State American citizens. Hey, Precious, how are you, Mrs. Herrera? What's for lunch? Oh, shit. You know what that means, guys? That means I got to let you go. The wife wants to go out for lunch. Give me a few more minutes, love. And I will go ahead and close this live. And I will go and see what we can go get some. Maybe we can go get some tacos. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. My wife knows this is the song that my I think it was my daughter, right? It was our daughter that loved that song when she was a little girl. All right, give me a few minutes and I'll text you and let you know when I'm heading on my way. Okay, we'll go get something to eat. All right. With that being said, let me go ahead and get to one of you guys already know. He's one of my favorite guys. Let me go ahead and grab just a couple of clips that I really do want to share with you guys here. Oh, you know what? Just in time. All right. Don't worry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wife out for lunch, and then I'm going to come back live, and then I'm going to allow for people to call in, and we'll do a live from Mobile One. You guys know that from my car. All right, I'll see you later, babe. Let me go ahead and play this clip here before I play Clark Kent. And this is Marco Rubio, well, the United States of America, sending $100 million worth of food and aid for the Cuban people, something that we have been fighting for, that the Cuban government didn't want to allow us to bring in. Well, don't take it from me. Listen to the actual voice.
First humanitarian assistance flight bound for the island taking off today at Miami International Airport.
And the flight is part of the U.S. government's offer in May to send $100 million in aid to Cuba. And Local 10's Christina Vasquez has our story.
State Department officials in Miami to show you this. The very first, they say, of humanitarian aid as part of that $100 million commitment in aid to Cuba being dispatched today.
We're shipping prepackaged boxes of commodities, and so it's food, medical equipment, daily essentials and things like that that'll help, hygiene kits.
State Department officials say this is the first shipment in the $100 million in direct assistance to the Cuban people U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio challenged the Cuban regime to accept in May.
The reason they don't want to accept it is because it admits what everyone knows, which is that it's a government that's incapable of providing for its own people.
Cuba had delayed making their decision, but they're in such dire need, they have no other choice but to accept.
And that Cuba is allowing humanitarian aid from the U.S. into the country.
They realize that they're at the very end.
May signal how close the regime is to economic collapse, explains Local 10's Cuba analyst Dr. Andy Gomez.
The political collapse has not happened, and I don't see it happening right away, but an economic collapse could lead to a political collapse. We have to wait and see.
This is something we've been negotiating in our ongoing diplomatic talks with the regime.
And to make sure it gets into the hands of the people, the State Department has partnered with Catholic Relief Services to distribute the packages through churches.
And they have an extensive network of volunteers and people to reach out to those who are most in need.
So we will know immediately if the regime interferes and takes a box that's intended for a Cuban family. And if that's the case, then we'll hold them accountable, and we expect the Cuban people all around the world will hold them accountable for that.
Jeremy Lewis, State Department Undersecretary for Foreign Assistance, Humanitarian Affairs and Religious Freedom, says the U.S. sanctions have carve-outs for fuel deliveries in support of humanitarian operations.
While we take on the national security threats posed by the regime, our commitment to the Cuban people is ironclad.
And by getting the humanitarian aid, the Cuban government loses that propaganda message that they continue to blame the economic embargo in their argument to the Cuban people.
State Department officials add that this is anticipated to be the start of weekly shipments to Cuba in humanitarian aid. At Miami International Airport, Christina Vasquez, Local 10 News.
You know, what the better question would be is the better question would be is what socialist country is sending them help? We're a capitalist country. Our economy is a capitalist economy. I don't think you fucking understand what socialism is. To be a humanitarian doesn't mean that you're a socialist. Do you understand that? And somebody says, yeah, well, they're not our people. But even if they were our people, that's not socialism. It's humanitarian. Just because you have goodwill, just because you have care, but just because you care for people in need doesn't make you a socialist. No, we don't have a socialist economy. We don't have that. It is a capitalist economy. But it's because of the capital economy, shouldn't that tell you the success that we're able to accomplish with capitalism? No socialist country can do what we do. They might take care of themselves and extort the people. Yeah, don't confuse humanitarianism with socialism. Those are different things. And that should actually be proof that capitalism works, and it is a good thing. Only capitalism can create enough wealth to help others. Socialism steals it from others. It takes away your freedom. It takes away your individualism. It takes away your means of making wealth. You know, he's an old folk, but he didn't gain wisdom apparently. It's crazy. I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, I gotta go take my wife for lunch. I guess it's Friday, and she wants to go eat something nice. Here is Clark Kent. I don't care what he says. I just want to hear him.
I now recognize myself for 5 minutes for the purpose of asking questions. And thank you to all of the witnesses, again, for taking the time to come before this hearing, which I think is incredibly important. Ms. Banky, according to the ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion improves the practice.
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of its
Is that a
realms
yes?
is
Can
important.
I take that? It's a yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website says?
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question, ma'am. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the ABA is doing.
That is the ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
The ABA believes that it's important to always explore.
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good. I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to consider.
It is. What about your point of view?
I am here as the president of the American Bar Association.
And I'm asking you what your implicit biases are.
The ABA is an entity.
Have you reflected on your implicit biases?
I think about how I operate
What are they?
the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA and the
All right,
ABA's.
we're going to move on. Was race a factor in Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court nomination?
I have no idea how that process works. I'm a real estate lawyer.
President Biden stated, quote, I've made no decision except one, and that's that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. So I think it's fair to say that race was and gender were factors in that nomination process. Wouldn't you agree?
You would have to have a conversation.
He explicitly stated that, so I think it's fair to say. I mean, you're a lawyer. I think that's fair to say. Do you think that it's just or righteous that Joe Biden explicitly excluded black men in the nomination process for the Supreme Court vacancy?
The ABA does not support discrimination of any sort.
So you don't think that it was proper for Joe Biden to exclude every group other than black women in deciding who should fill that Supreme Court vacancy? Is that your testimony?
The ABA relishes diversity, equity, and
Right,
inclusion.
but is it acceptable for Joe Biden to exclude black men in the nomination pool for the Supreme Court?
The ABA never supports discrimination.
That's good to hear. And you believe, I think, tell me if that the Supreme Court should roughly resemble the racial diversity of the country?
The ABA does not believe that quotas are appropriate. It is
According to the ABA's mission statement on its website, it states that judges, it increases the quality of our judicial system whenever judges resemble the vast racial diversity of our society. So would you say that it's helpful, it's beneficial if our Supreme Court resembles the racial diversity of America?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of its forms is important. We
So it
want
is a
people to
good
bring all of who they are, whether they be from small practice or
Diversity,
large practice.
can you define diversity here? You want it to, should the Supreme Court resemble America's racial makeup, roughly? It's a yes or no question.
The ABA does not support quotas.
I'm not asking about quotas. I'm asking if it should roughly resemble America's racial makeup.
It should represent all of what people are.
Of what people are. Okay. So right now, there's about two of 9 of Supreme Court justices are black. That's about 22% of the Supreme Court. According to your testimony, about 13% of America's population is black. If the Supreme Court should roughly resemble America's demographic makeup, as the ABA states is proper, in your opinion, regardless of qualifications, should the Senate refuse to confirm a 3rd black Supreme Court justice?
The ABA supports and encourages diversity in all of its forms.
That wasn't my question. My question was, if a Supreme Court vacancy opens up, should the Senate refuse to confirm a 3rd black Supreme Court nominee based on his race or her race?
The ABA does not support quotas, and so
the ABA does support some sort of, and hopefully we'll get into that. The ABA does support making sure the ethnic makeup has a specific amount. But my time is up, so we will move on.
Oh, man.
The Committee on House Administration.
You guys already know, man. I can go for hours. I think it's time for some tacos or burritos. We'll see what we get. I really enjoy my wife. I love her so much. You know, I don't know, for some reason, it seems like the older I get, the more I love her, and the more I want to be with her. But I'm not going to lie, sometimes I just want to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But, you know, I will enjoy my wife as long as God allows me to enjoy her company, her words. Man, she gave me some great kids. Love my kids. Hey, guys, thank you guys for being here with me today. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for the chats. Appreciate you. Thank you for being members. Thank you for hitting likes and subscribes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for mods. I didn't see libtards hating that much today. Zinc Roofer. You got to put a super chat someday, old man. That EBT card, you got to put some cash in there. Got to put some cash. God bless you all. Thank you for being here with me. God bless your family. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I will see you in the Mobile One next live that I have. Thank you, Donald. Love you, brother. I will see you again soon.